Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is SKTV coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Jacob Kenneth. Today is a brand new day. Today is Saturday, the 27th of January 2024. Can you imagine we already in 2024? Not only that we in 2024, but we are already finishing the first month of the year 2024. I want to welcome you. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us today. We are going to be discussing Labra again. As always, today we are going to be discussing the new government. Do you see it as a change that you actually wanted, or you feel is the same old? Let us know what you think. Let us know how you see it. The best you can do for me right now is to make sure you share the show. That is the most important thing you can do right now. Please go ahead and share the show. Let's have a conversation. What do you think? Do you see the new government as a change you wanted, or is it same old? Is it like you feel like you have old ones in new battles, or you feel like you have a change that you really deserve, that you really wanted? So I want to encourage all of you to share the show so we can start this conversation as soon as possible.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. What is our people who willing to sell? The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The brothers giving us the end, the premise from them. The welcome and life without again.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Le pali su me kanyo ake SKTV benyo. Se macheni tina ke ase manjamu. Enji sano muni emu aye yo. Enyi lofa mui emu aye yo.
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa. SKTV the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandfather.
Ena dine ya tumare, ena salia ya tumare, ena kwanagli ya tumare, ena kodubwa ya tumare, ena dine ya tumare, ena salia ya tumare, ena kwanagli ya tumare, ena kodubwa ya tumare, ena dapagia na ya tumare, esta bibi, ena dapagia na, tosi wako ma ya tumare,
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa. SKTV the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandfather.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. What is our people who willing to sell? The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the premise my best. To work with my life without fear. From grandfather Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Monserrat, San to Bakulu, from Maryland, Punk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa. There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. What is our people who willing to sell? The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The brothers giving us the end, the premise from them. The welcome and life without again.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Le pali su me kanyo ake SKTV benyo. Se macheni tina ke ase manjamu. Enji sano muni emu aye yo. Enyi lofa mui
SKTV, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
And I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the TV, and I don't get it now. So she walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa. SKTV, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bringing good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from here and I'm part of the club. Qualified people who waiting to serve. The session, the time and the efforts are rare. The broadcast we giving a real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from here and I'm part of the club. Qualified people who waiting to serve. The blessing, the time and the efforts are rare. The brothers giving a care and the promise of them. To work with my life without fear.
A lyrical healthy.
Master.
Clever is who make you. I can't ask it if you been you. Say my journey, tina ke ase my jamu. Enji sano money, emu aye yo. Enji lova money, emu aye yo.
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa. SKTV, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
And I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the TV, and I don't get it now. So she walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa. SKTV, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bringing good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from here and I'm part of the club. Qualified people who waiting to serve. The session, the time and the efforts are rare. The broadcast we giving a real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
SKTV, the best in Liberia.
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa. SKTV, the best everywhere you go. If you believe it, show us some love. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining SKTV today. Today is another day, a new day. Yesterday, we had a very, very important show yesterday. You see me on the show, you calling me? I'm on the show. Yeah, I'm on the show. Yeah, I saw you on the show. You see me on the show, then you calling me? All right. Yeah, one of my picking, he's on the show. He's here watching at the same time calling me on the video. But anyway, I want to encourage all of you to share the show. You know, let me see here. Let me see here. Let me respond to this test real quick. So yesterday we broke news here regarding the some of the appointees of the incoming government. And our job is not to antagonize anybody, to go against anybody, or try to, destroy or undermine the incoming government. That is not our objective. Our job is to inform the Liberian people and to provide credible information to the Liberian Senate, to Liberian House of Representatives, and to everybody in Liberia, especially when it comes to appointments and consent of the Senate. Not all the people that are appointed, have a good record. And the people who can do the appointment, they may have vetted some of these people, but the vetting process in Liberia basically is about who know you, who you are connected with, who recommended you, and what you can do for the person appointing you. The process in Liberia, a lot of people don't care about vetting. Here in America, when the people that appoint somebody to any institution, especially those high-profile positions in the country, before they can appoint you, they can actually dig deeper. They check your record, your history. They check your criminal background. They check everything about you. If you pass those things, then they can look at the confidence of the person appointing you. If that person trusts you, if that person knows you can do the job, we are already past the important aspect of being appointed. That is, meet qualification of a given position, and also being able to pass a criminal background check, as well as your social background and everything that got to do with you. Since we came up with the information yesterday, there are people that have tried to undermine the information. They have tried to attach different names to it, but they are doing that. They don't understand one thing. They will try to undermine our information. They will try to put dent in our credibility with the purpose of promoting themselves or pushing their agenda forward. But little they didn't know, we have always done our due diligence. We've always done our work to make sure that we bring to you the actual incredible information that you can use for yourself and that you can share with other people. And we don't just come with information simply because we want more viewership or want more followers. We come up with information based on facts. And most of our information are research based. We do research all the time. And people give us information. And when they do, we don't just on saying things or running with information without doing our due diligence. Brazilian Monk, welcome, my brother. How are you?
What's up, Suku? What's going on?
Yeah, so the people went on yesterday with the information we provided. It was too big for them. It looks like the president himself was surprised. And people that are supposed to be doing the confirmation hearing, they too, they are surprised. And those that were put on the defense, they try to call a different name. That the person in even the video who says, I mean, do you remember me? You and I went to tell you together and you betrayed me. They said that was now Copper Crowd, Councilor Copper Crowd. And that was definitely Councilor Copper Crowd. And Councilor Copper Crowd, when you told Doe that we and I went to all you together, but then you betrayed me, that was because Doe fired him. When Doe fired him, he considered that as a betrayer. That was the reason that he joined the rebel group. So he was definitely part of those people that killed our former president, Samuel Kendo. Instead of then doing their due diligence, making sure that we are providing the correct information, but they are there try to dispute it.
Yeah, trying to dispute it as usual.
And try to argue without finding out, without making their own assessment to make sure that the information is correct. Or if you're going to refute the information, make sure you do your due diligence, make sure you provide, alternative information that will debunk the information provided. We cannot just go and say, oh, this is wrong, this is what it is, and then without providing the facts. If I come here and say, hey, Mom, what you're saying right now is not true, it's a lie, I must be able to provide the truth. I must be able to provide the facts. So it will be up to the Liberian Senate to confirm Councilor Copper Crowd, who is believed to be one of those people who killed Tamir Doe on camera. There were few recognizable names. Prince Johnson, Samuel Vani that Doe Crowd his name. And they killed Doe for nothing. Prince Johnson always, go around telling people that he killed Doe because of he wanted to liberate the people of Nima County. But when he captured Doe, he didn't talk about liberation of Nima County. He did not even mention Nima. He said, where's the Liberian people money? Everything about Prince Johnson has been about money. Money, money, money. Money and power. And those that helped Prince Johnson to torture and murder do on camera, they will go down in history as some of the worst people that ever existed on the soil of Liberia. But you know, the irony about this whole thing is that the man who participated in the process is afraid to be named. And he will be considered one of the bad people in Liberia. But yet, the man who he assisted, the man who led the process, the man who ordered the man's ear to be cut off, the man who murdered him, is still being celebrated by a segment of our community, segment of our country. Mong, isn't that interesting?
Well, it is an interesting twist, but that's Liberia for you, you know. Yesterday we said it on this show. In the absence of a war crimes court, because we got people who just believe in warlocks and killer. They gravitate to people with some of the worst past. So if Cooper Cry was going to be elected, I won't have a problem with him, but that's an appointed position. You're talking about justice. So it will be up to our lawmakers. That particular nomination is going to test their resolve again to see whether they will do the right thing. Because I know that those in the Senate, they are the one capable of putting an end to that nomination. But it's up to them. They are the only one that got the power now because Joseph Boakai, I said it yesterday, Joseph Boakai seems to be leaning in the direction of dancing with the devil. So for the people who are expecting some economic renaissance or things to happen in the country, I don't think that will happen because there will be a price to pay. And I think you're going to take a calculated risk on that. Either you do something fundamentally different to gather the international support in terms of finances, economic incentive, or you could choose to dance with the devil and then pay the consequences. And it seems like that's where he's going because the Copper Crown and Prince Johnson alliance, it seems like he wants to pay them for the political favor that he received in return. So it will be up to our lawmakers because I don't know how I'm not a fan of Samuel Doe because Samuel Doe himself was a brutal killer, a murderer, and a dictator. But equally so, he was the president-elect, and killing him on camera, you cannot be the one to serve as justice minister because that's a total contradiction of what your office represent in the Republic of Liberia. You cannot be the one dispensing justice under those circumstances. Maybe Joseph Boakai can find you another position, but not Minister of Justice. Cannot be.
So you think this will create problem between Prince Johnson and Joseph Boakai? Should Joseph Boakai try to, because this guy was forced on the people. It was one massacre who was appointed to this position. And Massacre was forcibly removed, or his name was withdrawn because of the pressure from Prince Johnson. Something that we said that was going to happen, that Joseph Nima Boakai would be in the government we control by Prince Johnson. And now that Prince Johnson forced him to withdraw his initial appointment and to replace that person with a man who is now being considered as one of the killers of the former president on camera. You think what will happen if Joseph Boakai decides to withdraw Copper Crash name? Or you think Joseph Boakai will only rely on the Senate to make the decision? And if the Senate confirm this guy, what would that mean for Joseph Boakai government from the international world? And who would have been people themselves?
It's up to the Senate to make that decision. But for the fact that he could nominate Copper Crack in such a position, it says a lot. It means that Prince Johnson technically is the one putting the screen on that particular position. You see, some people say, oh, they should say, how can you have a Taiwan Gongro if Joseph Boakai is actually interested in transparency and going after people on accountability and the rule of law? I think Taiwan Gongro would be the perfect fit for justice minister. That I thought that would be a first option. Even people say, "Oh, you can make him Solicitor General." Like, no, the Justice Ministers, he wields more power than the Solicitor General. And by virtue of the fact that Tewan Gonglo also supported Joseph Boakai in as much as he came later on with the endorsement, and he was now on the Prince Johnson board, and he supported Joseph Boakai. I thought he would have been the #1 favorite for the Justice Minister position. But if Copper Crowley is the one surfacing as Justice Minister, then he just tell you he's trying to appease Prince Johnson, or Prince Johnson is the one calling the shot. I could care less whether the Senate confirming or they denying. The fact that Joseph Boakai could even nominate him, it says a lot, you know.
Yeah. So my question to you now is, assuming that the Senate, confirm him, if the Senate confirms him, and then what happened? That means we will have a couple of crowds, just a minister, and just about guy. We live with that.
Yeah, he will live with that. That's why he made that decision. That's why he even nominated him in the first place. So, if our lawmaker, I know that Joseph Boakai been dishing out money this field like a drunken sailor, even though he just been in office less than, let's say, 72 to 120 hours ago. But the fact of the matter that it means people that are there pushing him, providing finances, and our lawmakers are very corrupt. Don't forget, it's only the Senate that will be able to confirm, and he got some good allies in the Senate. Whether it's the Dillon, whether it's the Nyomli Kanga, he got people that are in the Senate. So it will be more than likely that the Senate could approve of him in that position. But the nomination of Copper Cry alone says a lot about Boakai presidency as Justice Minister. It tells you that Prince Johnson and the Jeremiah Kong of the world, they wield more power in this administration, and they are able to make calls and get their wishes. That's just what it tells you. Because I don't know how you can skip Ogale Tewan Gonglo, who has been proven and tested in that particular sector of our country when it comes to justice and law, and you're going to take a Copper Cry over Tewan Gonglo. It just tells you the direction that Joseph Boakai choose to tread on moving forward.
That's a very good that's a very good assessment. And so now the Senate supposed to do their own due diligence. They're supposed to do their own research. In fact, finding about every single nominee. Do you think Joseph Boakai and Joseph Boakai team, they actually vetted everybody adequately before they were nominated to these positions, or they just go ahead and nominate people based on who recommend you?
It can be about the vetting process. I doubt it. Just looking at the people and the length of time. If these people couldn't even get the inauguration or figure out, think about the nomination process. They were never vetted. You see, it's an age-old problem in Liberia. That's one of the reasons we continue to fail as a society. You see, when you look at Liberia, right, going back in history, let's just say after the Turbo administration coming forward, it was all about bringing on people that are competing for strategic position in government, because you know that all ministries and agencies are not created equal in Liberia. There are certain areas in Liberia that generate revenue daily on a daily basis, whether it's the commerce, the finance ministry, the maritime. These are lucrative areas. People always position themselves for those strategic positions. The next thing you get is a mixed match between credential, academic credential, and hands-on experience. That's a whole different thing in Liberia. That's why most of our ministers, they end up learning the job, because they come to America for 12 or 14 months. They get a piece of paper with a master's degree, and they think that they can run the ministry. They go to Liberia, they don't know where to start from. So at the end of the day, they spend their entire time learning on the job, because they never did any job in that particular category to give them that kind of experience. And then they think about party loyalty. So at the end of the day, when you bring people with different and conflicting interests, it cannot align with the president's vision. Because I'm not giving Sekou job based on his competence. I'm giving Sekou job because the part he was on the Boakai campaign team. He's a Unity Party partisan. Matter of fact, I'm mixed matching his credential with hands-on experience. So at the end of the day, no matter who you put there, you keep getting the same mediocre result. Because look, there's a book that called the 10,000 Hours Rule, written by this guy called Malcolm Gladwell. In any professional institution, you need at least 7 to 10 years of experience to be considered an expert in any field. You look at people, look at the Georgia government. You got a guy who cleaning buildings in America here, and you're talking to You're talking to the Central Bank of Liberia. Think about that. A compliance officer, which is a low-level officer in the bank. And you're talking to be the central bank governor. You look at Samuel
and like Samuel Toy used to work in Minnesota there
yes.
was a bank teller, and then he became a banker.
He became a finance minister.
Then he became a finance minister.
Look at Lemona Dix. People say she got her degree in education, but guess where they pour her at? I think it was commerce. How do you mismatch education and that of commerce? That is why the country keeps failing. Because at the end of the day, you got to appeal the partisan, you got to put them in position. And even the president himself, sometimes they want kickbacks. So they put people in certain positions that can get money. So in return, they get paid. That's what we saw Georgia doing. The McGills of the world, the Samuel Tweed, he want people who are yes of men and people who will say yes, sir. So every time, it's not about their strength. It's not about their experience. It's just all about satisfying the partisan people that push the agenda, people that are on the rescue train. At the end of the day, you control the executive branch. So the success or the failure of the president lies with the people that he brought on board. If you have people with no credibility and no experience, you become an instant failure. That is why we cannot get results in Liberia, because we keep mismatching individual and position and political parties. So at the end of the day, how can you be in alignment with the president's vision when you got your own different ulterior motive? And it just doesn't work. And that's the same thing you see with Obama administration. No vetting process. They look at people who closer to the president, whether you're a Kingsman from the same tribe or from the same region, whether you're a Unity Party partisan, and you just put them in any kind of position you want to put in. That's it. So the country become the victim at the end.
So like now let's assume that the Senate confirms this guy and he becomes the Minister of Justice, so the first law enforcement officer of the country. And how is that going to play out to the international world, especially the United States?
Well, the United States, for me, one thing I hate comparing this whole U.S. and Liberia stuff. We don't respect our own laws. And the thing we fail to realize in Africa is the United States have our own strategic interests. Their interests come before your interests. That is why they can pick and choose between criminals. I tell people, Paul Kagame committed the same crime as Charles Taylor, but they can pick and choose based on their strategic interests. If they believe that Rwanda and he's doing their bidding, they're going to give him a pass, and a guy like Charles Taylor could be punished. In Liberia, every time we rely on the United States international community, we are not getting it right, because these people, they can choose to pull the screen. Look, if the U.S. were actually interested, if Liberia was a strategic interest or partner at the moment, the inauguration of Joseph Boga will have sent that signal. The delegation from the U.S. government are going to tell people, you know what, we're here for business. So, but you look at low-level guys from State Department and some, I don't know, they call it, some guy from Joe Biden warehouse, some advisor on media affairs. You look at these low-level people, it just sends a signal that they're not going to put a lot of interest. And this lady confirmed what we've been saying in the show, the Linda Thomas Greenfield. She said investors will be on the sideline watching. She said it. I don't know what some gathering they had recently. I think it was the Spoon TV, one of their affiliate asked her, why was it playing economically for the United States government for Liberia? She said, you know what? We will be watching the Bwaka administration because we will have investors that will be on the sideline. I said, but Linda, even when you were there as ambassador, I don't know of too many investors that came from the United States, even under the previous administration or Madam Salif administration. So when you are the United Nations now talking about investment, it's a contradiction. The job that you do right now is far from investment as compared to when we want to make the case that the U.S. government is going to be vested in the Bwakale administration, because you are the UN now. Your roles and responsibilities is quite different as compared to being an ambassador. But that's what she said. Investor will be on the sideline watching. Maybe she meant War and Economic Crimes Code, people that will be elected, appointed to a certain position, they will be looking at that before making the move. Like I said, Bwaka got two options. Bwaka could be a new hero in Liberia by bringing about reform and going after War and Economic Crimes Code, or he could choose to dance with the devil and the Liberians become victims by being on an economic punishment in terms of creating jobs and making the economy much better. It would just be a tough decision. But like I said again, what we have seen in recent days, it seems like Joseph Boga is going to be leaning towards the devil. I think he would protect them until something changed. But the corporate cry alone, nomination raises a whole lot of eyebrow. It just tells you that.
So the Cooper crowd's appointment, is it like Joseph Boakai didn't know his record because of lack of proper vetting process? Or you think that maybe they already know, but they just decided to do it and thinking that nobody will know?
There is a possibility. It could be both ways. I don't want to jump the gun on that. There's a possibility because Cooper Crowd haven't been like during the war. Not too many kids grew up like bro knew who Cooper Crowd were at the time. It was just later before people got to know Cooper Crowd. So maybe people can't even recognize the face, even though the video is there. But not too many people in like bro be able to recognize that face, except you see it now and make the comparison. But people didn't see Cooper Crowd, except when SKTV raised that whole issue recently. And even some people, prominent people, say, oh, well, you know what, we got to double check this thing. So, and you see, I cannot pour all the blame on the president's head when it comes to these things. That's why you get a vetting team. You see, the presidency, I tell people, the president is now he's not super spiritual. He's just an ordinary president. The presidency only come to decision making in critical terms. President calls the shot. So if Joseph Boakai have a vetting team, it was up to the vetting team to do their due diligence, like you say, do some background investigation. And now that SKTV came up with the whole thing that Cooper Crowd was the one asking Samuel do such a question, I think that could be a reason for them to go and revisit, authenticate, and maybe withdraw that nomination if they want to do the right thing. There's a possibility Boakai wasn't aware of that. Or equally so too, he could have been made aware of it, but yet decided to turn a blind eye in an attempt to appease the Prince Johnson faction of the coalition. That could be it as well. But we'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. We'll put it squarely on the shoulders of the vetting team and see what they do next.
So, based on some of the information that we have had, or based on what is now apparent in terms of Boakai's appointments, it seems like we might not see any George Weah's appointee staying on. And is it going to be like a sweep, or maybe they will leave some of them there? But most of the position already gone, and it's to everybody to resign. What about some of those deputy ministers and assistant ministers under George Weah? You think some of them will stay on, or they will just sweep everything?
Well, up to the decision of Joseph Nima Boakai, he talked about unity, he talked about bringing people together. I said it all the time. Joseph Boakai never won over a mandate. Out of 2.some million people vote, Joseph Boakai won with little over 20,000 votes. So that's now a mandate. That's less than 1% of the total voters. So the country is evenly split and evenly divided. So if you talk about unity, then it means you got to form a government of inclusion. Even though you don't want offend or CDC, but you got to keep some of that people on, because it's when you become president, you're president for everybody. He's not a unity party president. He's for CDC. He's for Unity Party. He's for Liberty Party, the ANC, and every other political institution in the country. So it will be up to him. But I will suggest or make a recommendation that make the government a little bit inclusive. Some people should stay on. I mean, it's the same country. They go to work, they get paid, they spend the money in the country, they help the economy. It doesn't matter. You don't go to the market and go buy a gari or sugar and they say, oh, that's CDC money or Unity Party money. It all circulates in the same economy. So I don't think you have to carry on a clear sweep. You got to keep some people, especially people that you think are doing a job, that get some positive recommendation or feedback. You got to keep them on the job. They are all Liberians and they deserve to work in the country.
What about other people that were in opposition outside of the Unity Party alliance? Should we expect Boakai going across the aisle to bring any of those people on, in key position based on their expertise and specialization?
Well, this is where you thread the needle when it comes to balance, because you could give people a position in the name of forming a broader coalition of government and bringing people from across the aisle. But the question is, what kind of job are you giving them? Let's say if you get a financial analyst or a financial expert that is part of the ANC, and you took another person from Unity Party and give them the job as finance minister or commerce minister. Yeah, even if you were to give somebody from the ANC another job, we would say, okay, yeah, you extended him, but the level of the job, is this person or experience match that particular institution, or you just doing it just so they can say, oh, ain't it almost like a lip service, just to create an optics that Joseph Burger is forming a government of inclusion. We'll be looking at the kind of a job, because you might get people a job, but if they are all low level and low energy job, then you cannot call that a government of inclusion, even though there are people from other parties that are on board, but we're looking at the type of job, You cannot look at all the strategic position in government, give it to your guys, to your kingsmen, to your partisan, and then you look at some non-essential job and give it to the Liberty Party or the CDC and claim that you have a government inclusion. I don't think that's how it works.
Okay, so somebody just stated that the Deputy Minister for Budget and Planning at the Ministry of Finance staying on. I think she's called Madam Tane Rosen, saying that person staying on. Steve, can we check on that? Down the line to see whether that information is correct.
Yes, definitely, we can look at it here and see what's going on.
But anyway, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Kane.
You are 41 minutes late.
Yeah, I was facing things. Well, folks, thank you so much for the show. Again, Sarah's asking for the information so that I can check.
Now, the information is that we have been informed on the live feed here that Madam Tene Brossin is staying on as a Deputy Minister for Planning, Deputy Minister for Budget and Planning at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. So you can let us know if that information is accurate. I will check with some of the government officials later on if we can get the facts about it right now.
Yeah.
But is she re-nominated on some of the positions? Maybe. All right. This person is saying the information is correct. But yeah. So Steve, welcome. You were about to say something.
Yes, I just wanted to thank our people. I wanted to welcome those of the people watching us from Liberia, especially those burning the data. For them, they are the VIPs. To be quite honest, we know the issue of data in Liberia is not easy; it's very expensive. And so having them to be part of the show is a good thing. Just on an announcement or on another note, we continue to receive messages of people who want to be part of the conversation, the discussion, to get the radio station going on. We continue to receive messages. Thank you. I was receiving messages up until 3-4 this morning, Arizona time. Thank you. I woke up to some of them. Thank you so much. Let's continue to send your name to me. My full name on Facebook is Moses. Again, send your name to me. My full name there is Moses. Mr. Kane, there's some progress being made. There is an anonymous donor who called me. I don't know if I should announce it in the show, but I'll check in with you so we can announce it either tomorrow or so forth. So something falling in place. You understand?
So some egos have started learning.
No, it will learn, but it's not learning. It haven't learned it. So we gotta be careful about the ego.
Okay, it hasn't learned it, but maybe the ego will learn.
The ego will, and when the ego learn, with that kind of say ego has learned it. So we've been facing things. We've been facing things behind closed doors. Folks, thank you. Thank you for the contribution. Thank you for this is what we are talking about. And Mr. Kane, among the names that are coming, we are seeing some very serious-minded, strong, willing people who want to tell you they will support. They don't play games. In as much that they don't like to be announced in public, but when they say they will support. And I'm talking about mature, grown, intelligent people who nobody call them. Willingly they send the information and say, I won't be part. So that's a good sign.
Oh, I'm thinking Bobby Benito, he wants to say anything, but you don't want to work with Steve. You can work with Steve.
Yeah, Bobby Benito send it to Moses.
Yeah, don't work with me, work with Steve.
If you see,
why do you want to work with you?
You got to mess them mad at me about Joe here.
Send your name to Moses and your phone and your number, and we'll add you on so that we can go from
So
there.
Helena need there? Helena send you her name?
Leave Helena, man. Helena not what they got, man. Helena not what they got. She not saying nothing. She not saying nothing. Helena on something. Helena on something. She trying to face things, but she will not make it. But Mr. Canada, what I wanted to say, I want to welcome everybody as always. The Liberian people are the most important people on earth, and Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. You know, Mr. Canada, lately, let me make an announcement. You will not even know lately. My mother has been watching us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mother has been watching us. She was saying that she fought her inside because she's a religious follower now, SKTV.
Oh.
Yeah, she called me and said, I follow the show, you know.
Oh wow, that's great.
I told her, I said, but you gotta make it on the you gotta make it on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just be
of sustainable followers.
Yeah. I said you can't. She started laughing. So you know, and not only that, you know, like I said, the
as
entire,
a sustainable stakeholder too.
Yeah, the family in Philadelphia also they follow. So that one part.
That's great.
That one part. So that to tell you now, say SKTV now, we go on different level now. Yeah. So you know the whole issue of Joe Bob Bennett, will work with it. But I ate it, folks. You're thank you.
Yeah. So while we were talking about knowing whether or not this person going to stay on, we receive a call from somebody also that want to remain anonymous. So, like I say, SKTV is yet to authenticate this information, but we were just informed that that lady is staying on because of the strategic role she played in getting money out, because she been the Deputy Minister for Budget and Planning. All the money that was stolen by Jeremiah Kuhn and Thomas Falah, well, she was the one, the mastermind of all of that. So she's staying on because of the recommendation from Jeremiah Kuhn, the vice president. This, like I said, this information has now been authenticated by SKTV. So we have no way of knowing whether it's a fact, but the fact that somebody said it, and the question was asked too on the live feed, and one of the followers decided to follow, to call us and give us this information. We'll put it out there, and it's up to the people accused to come and set the record straight. But they just told her that this person who staying on is being recommended by Jeremiah Kuhn, and because she been at the budget department at the Ministry of Finance, she has been the one actually all the money that they were taking out of the Ministry of Finance, that she was the one who has been the mastermind of that money being stolen by Thomas Falah, the former chairman of Ways and Means at the House of Representatives, also his former deputy chairman, Jeremiah Kuhn, that they were the one that actually recommended that she stay on, so maybe they can take more money under Joseph Barger.
Yeah, but Mr. Kane, it's even alarming and concerning that people will claim that CDC were corrupt.
Hold on, Maurice Duclos says, Steve, don't forget. Is that Maurice Duclos from Minnesota?
Yeah, the COP chairman. We said, Mr. Chairman, we're okay. We'll face things. Don't worry. I'll call you back. Finish. But let's move on. Yeah, let's move on. We don't want to expose the chairman for security reasons.
Oh, in a sense, when you and Jimmy begin,
hey, leave that thing. Forget it. We're facing things. We're working. We're facing things.
Since when? Since when you and the Jimmy begin, buddy.
Oh, and then because we get time, Sonny, we get time to pure being close to we don't hold, look, we can hold consultation across the aisle. We are lobbying. We can hold consultation across the aisle. But Mr. Cannon, back to the subject, right? In as much that we're laughing with these things, it sounds very interesting to me. I don't know about other people, but it sounds very interesting to me that we claim that the CDC, Samuel to an entire group from the Ministry of Finance were corrupt, including Samurai Wolokoli. All of them are corrupt. But then the people then have been working with them too, you all want to keep them. I mean, who are making it that the little people that honor work and make some money to happen? So I want to agree with whoever called that the reason this woman was kept on is a strategic reason. They know her role. They understand that she's able to facilitate one or two things. She knows what's up. She can push things around. She understands some things over there. Her role is strategic. So, at the same 6 and 7, because they're keeping certain people in place. Let us take, for example, Tomo Farah, been Ways and Means chairman for almost going on to 18 to 24 years. Now the main deputy speaker. And you want to tell me, say, the House of Representatives will be correct?
No.
You seriously want to tell me that? Then you got to be from another planet.
Unless Joseph Boakai becomes that new president that will not allow all kind of money to leave. Because the corruption in Liberia has always been about the executive enabling all corrupt act, because the president has to approve the budget. And if the budget is actually being looked at and streamlined the best way, and ethical decisions are taken based on credibility and accountability and fairness, definitely those things will not go through. But if the president only dare to get their court, you're seeing this thing right now.
Yep.
The president just appointed 2 people in 2 strategic positions. In fact, speaking of the list yesterday, Steve,
the video I sent you when you're done, can you play that video?
Yeah, we'll play the video.
Contradicts himself. He lied.
Yeah, we'll play the video. You gotta be stable, man. You gotta be careful with our new president, man.
Nobody man lie. Lie. What are you doing?
You gotta be careful with our new president, man.
Okay, you tell story.
Yeah, maybe not tell the story. Maybe
he makes money the truth.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
I was saying he makes money the truth going forward now.
Okay, let me say this. The 2 positions. One of the persons say they will not continue. And one of the person, in fact, traveled to America. So those positions, they are tenure position. You're listening. The maritime position and the person at the NOCA, your position are tenure position. So our understanding is that they still have about 2 years.
Yes.
To finish the tenure. Now, Jay Kabakoli and what the other guy name? I'm not looking at the list right now. And the other person, Joseph Boakai position then there. He want to keep them there for whatever reason. Maybe Jay Kabakoli want to get his $1 million before they remove him from there, because he said he's going to be a millionaire after 3 months before, when Joe Boakai wins the election. Now he has been appointed at NOCA to be there. That will be like for time indefinite, probably within the span of the 2 years. So if Joseph Boakai decides to keep those 2 people, Maritime bringing in more money, and NOCA also, the oil company, bringing in more money. So Joseph Boakai may not even need to steal money from the budget. Because what happens is that the money being generated whether it's the Ministry of Finance, whether it's Maritime, whether it's NOCAR, the money is supposed to be reported. Where the money is supposed to go to the Liberal Revenue. And who is there? Who is the head of the LRA? So at the end of the day, the money will still go through the same people before it even be declared. And what will be declared? What will be deposited in the Liberal government account? What people are going to, calculate. The one that are going to be deposited. But the one that is not deposited before the money make it to the real place where to go. Or the cut is going to cut. They will finish taking everything. So, in short, unless Joseph Boakai prove us otherwise, it seems like what was said about the CDC and the Unity Party is becoming apparent and vivid by the minute. That CDC stole, but they didn't know how to steal. CDC was stupid. CDC was a stupid criminal enterprise, and the Unity Party is intelligent criminal enterprise. That was the saying during the campaign. And from the look of things, it seems like Joseph Boakai has been very strategic, and we will see how it's going to play out. I just want to add.
Well, Mr. Kane, yes, the CDC were not professional in their embezzlement. I will not use the word stealing. I will not use the word lie now.
I'm clapping for you.
Yeah, I'll be using BB words such as embezzlement and mismanagement of the truth or misappropriation of the facts. Words are the words I'll be using. No, but all jokes aside, yes, the CDC were not sophisticated enough to be able to do that, right? But on a serious note, this is why the fear is for the Unity Party, because they've done it before. They robbed the country. In fact, it's interesting how President Joseph Boakai speaks of squanderers, but the first list he pulled up with 7 people, or the second list, you have 5 of the key squanderers in that listing. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. And Mr. Kane, I beg you, I want you to play that video just a little bit because we expand on that video and we'll get back to the whole what he need.
The video you seen yesterday?
Yes. Somebody shared with me, and I definitely like for us to.
Yeah, but you guys go ahead with the communication. Let me
Yes.
get it ready.
So, folks,
Continue the conversation.
Joseph Boakai look at the Liberian people in the faces, and at his age, he decided that he would mismanage the truth.
So, is this Steve? Is this on WhatsApp or Messenger?
No, Messenger. I sent it to you. Messenger. I sent it to you. Messenger.
Okay, no problem. I will work on it.
So Wasiku is working on it. This is truly troublesome. Very, very embarrassing. That in our culture, we are trained, we are encouraged to honor and respect older people. But in our culture also, older people are expected to carry themselves a certain way, such as they serve as elders so that the next generation can emulate, they can follow their examples. But this is not the case with President Joe Boy. This is not the case with him. President Joe Boy, if anything, while you put them the culture and you're not respectful of the culture, President Joe Biden, if anything, has desecrated our culture. He is one of the very first older gentlemen to openly with straight face and bold face lie to his age group, to people that he can born, people that he can grandfather, and to the next generation. And his own record lying. This is troublesome. This is problematic. If it's not concerning to you, it should be concerning to you now. Because President Joe Biden is taking you for a ride. Let me tell you now. And some of y'all think this is a joke. Some of y'all think this is a funny thing, or somebody, oh, you disrespected old man and you disrespected Papa. Okay. The Papa eating into your children on the future. Y'all be saying that there. Y'all can't listen to President Joe Biden. They play what he play. Y'all think that real in French and in French and some part of in Liberia, we can say real people then who can not say the truth, who are very crooked, we call them kutuku. That ain't we in. Y'all listen to him.
I call it kutuku.
Real kutuku.
That one are French?
The men who can lie with straight face. They're not looking.
I heard all of French all the time. Brazilian woman, have you heard of French?
No, I said some part of Ivory Coast.
I know. Hey, that wouldn't French.
So that it there.
The way they got the Ibanez in America here.
You come and listen to him. President Joe Biden with y'all. Y'all be saying that there.
Okay, let's see. Let's play it. Let's play the video. Let's play the video. Wait, what happened? What just happened?
The man, I want a video to play. You will make it?
No, the video will play.
You will make it?
The video will play.
I can tell you that I come to work not with friendship. I have friends, but there is a clear line of demarcation between friendship, family, and managing. With the experience that we come with a country that celebrates 176 years, and with the life of our people living below the poverty line, I don't think we come into government again to start thinking about our family, to start talking about. I think we come there to make sure that we give the Liberian people hope, and I'm committed to that. I can tell you that
So I'm going to replay it, but let me say this before I play it. Listen to what the president is saying here. And this was after the election. That was when he was president. When he had an interview on VOA, that's when he said these things. I could not even remember the saying right here. But if the president said that he's not going to do his government with
friendship
and family,
yep.
And now that Jacob Akoli now is being sent to Noka, if that's not family, that's his nephew. That is his bebo. If that's not family, then I don't know what that is. Secondly, friendship, more is yet to come. We have seen a lot. And I can tell you most of Joseph Boakai's appointees, especially, or most of the integrated institutions, are going to be his friends. And their appointments are not going to be based on mere qualification or competence. It's going to be about friendship. It has been about friendship and family.
Yeah.
So listen up.
I can tell you that I come to work not with friendship. I have friends, but there is a clear line of demarcation between friendship, family, and managing. With the experience that we come with a country that celebrates 176 years, and with the life of our people living below the poverty line, I don't think we come into government again to start talking about our family, to start talking about, I think we come there to make sure that we give the Liberian people hope, and I'm committed to that. I can tell you that I come to work not with friendship. I have friends, but there is a clear line of demarcation between friendship, family, and managing. With the experience that we come with a country that celebrates 176 years, and with the life of our people living below the poverty line, I don't think we come into government again to start talking about our family, to start talking about, I think we come there to make sure that we give the Liberian people hope, and I'm committed to that.
Okay.
So that was the president of the Republic of Liberia, Joseph Numa Boakai. And
yep.
So there you have it.
So, Mr. Kane, just before we go even further, President Joe Ball was the same person that said they squander opportunities with the Ellen-led government. Let me prove it to the Liberian people that Joseph Boakai, President Joe Ball, is not ready to lead Liberia. He has never been ready to lead Liberia. It has all been excuses, deceptions, lies, mismanaging of the facts, deceiving people, bold-faced. And people won't pass around and use, oh, the man are old man. You can't say the old man there. You can say, I can say the old man live in lie. I can say the old man lie, she lie. I can say it. We need to stand up in this generation and confront these older people who are passing around, using the age to exploit, to deceive, and eat into our future in the next generation. This thing must stop. It must stop. Look here. Look what happened. On November 14th, 2016, listen to the people Ellen Johnson appointed. You're listening to the names of the people Ellen Johnson appointed.
So Steve, I'm sorry not to cut you off. So please. The name that this my sister just wrote here, Tantan, that name, right? Is that Joseph Boakai's son?
That one of Joseph Boakai's son, Tantan.
Is that the one that can be on SKTV attacking us, or maybe attacking me several times? Is that the one, or maybe somebody was seeing him?
You know, with the Facebook thing, you can't really authenticate it because people can use people's name. But that he named Tantan that they can go around. So
no, I don't want to be sure. Because I know somebody with that name being attacking SKTV for months now.
Yeah. So and yes, I've been seeing him. I don't even pay attention to him because if that him, then he need to go focus on his musical career. He did not succeed in it. He's a failure. He failed bigly. So he no focus on that him. So anybody who knows you need to tell him, man, I can't SKTV and we're fully in there. He no go focus on his musical career. But anyway, let's get to the issue. November 14, 2016, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf made the following appointments. You're listening to the names, though. These were the same squanderers, and we'll prove it to you that they are back. And Joseph Boakai brought them back. You're listening. Sylvester Grisby was appointed as Minister of State for Presidential Affairs on November 14, 2016. Some of you think that a long time ago, not a long time ago. Sam Gay.
By who?
By Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.
Yeah, I want you to.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Ellen Johnson Sirleaf on the scene November 14 appointed Sam Gay as Director of Executive Protective Services, which is the EPS. Boema Kamara, the current former minister, was appointed also as Minister of Finance and Development and Planning. They see Boema Kamara. You ain't see nothing here. Joe Boy took you. You understand yourself. Samuel Kofi Woods was appointed as Public Works Minister. Fast forward in 2023 on January 22nd, the same names appear. You're listening to the positions. Oh? The unit switch there around. Like hey there. Sylvester Grisby. And Sylvester Grisby there. Hey, you are on the appointment for Ellen. Sylvester Grisby, Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, he still maintained his position. Samuel Gay still maintained his position as EPS Director, as what? Director of Executive Protective Service. I'm moving. Boema Kamara still maintained his position, appointed by Joseph Boakai after he was appointed in 2016 by Ellen, Joseph Boakai reappointed him as Minister of Finance, Development, Planning. The last person, one of the other person, Gregory Como, the police director that Joseph Boakai appointed, was appointed by Ellen. You listen to the one. Gregory Como was appointed by Ellen September 17, 2016 as Inspector General, Liberia National Police. The records are there. Y'all go check the records. Samuel Kofi Woods was appointed as National Security Advisor. All the people that in our call, they're not they say that the same people there they brought back. What does that say? Is there anything new yet? Is that look, Mr. Kane?
So that is with the question here, right? Should you see the government as the change you wanted or the same old same old?
But the criticize Ellen all they did and said the United Party. Joseph Boakai could not identify with the Ellen-led government when it came to stealing, corruption, and squandering. He distanced himself. But when it came to the good thing Ellen did, he took credit for it. That is to tell you the line of demarcation he drew. However, he reappointed the same people that the Liberian people rejected in 2017 when they went to the election. And I'm supposed to say that SK TV is supposed to say that and see all these records and not talk about them. We don't hate Joseph Boakai. We hate deception and lies. That's what we hate. Because this is what has kept the country down as it is today. But Monk, I don't know if you have anything to say about that, brother. Before that inside.
Man, you couldn't have said it any better, you know. That's just why it was, but our people, that's how they vote in Liberia. You can't blame them. It's just how they vote in politicians dance to their tune. You know, when you tell people that you squander opportunities under Madam Salih government, that you are pack car and bring almost the same faces under Madam Salih government. So technically what you are saying is you're about to squander another opportunity. So the people who voted thinking that Joseph Boakai was going to usher in change, I don't know which planet they live on because it would never happen. Joseph Boakai is not a change candidate. He doesn't represent anything new that even the average Unity Party partisan would agree with. And he just confirming all these sentiments. You see, Joseph Boakai is very good. That's why I always go on the opposite side of Boakai. And you said it right. Nobody here hate Joseph Boakai. People hate lies. People hate deception. People want the truth. People want the country to make progress. But if you're going to keep saying this thing that they just tell you, I keep saying it over and over on the platform. Joseph Boakai is a consummate politician. We expect him to behave like a normal politician. You know, when you've been in the game for so long, there is nothing new can come from you. You know, Joseph Boakai, I want to reason Joe Biden is at an all-time low. People concerning to be even the worst president than Jimmy Carter. When you stay in Washington, D.C. or in politics for way, way too long, you become too complacent. You become too comfortable. Biden became a senator at the age of 29. So he spent almost 4 to 5 decades in Washington before even becoming president. Why make you think he's going to change his routine activity? It's the same thing with Joseph Boakai. The guy been there for more than 4 decades, served as vice president for 12 good years, and you think that he's going to bring something new with a new idea or going to do something different? That's a lie. It would never happen. You fell for a scam. You bought into it, so just live with the consequences of your decision for 6 years. That's the nature of the game. So for me, I'm not here to relive the elections. The elections are over. It's just that the people who expected something different, they knew exactly what they were signing up for, and they signed up for it. Nothing else.
Even speaking in that context, just before Sekou can come in, even speaking in that context, let me say this to all of you, though. You know, the war came to Liberia. Many people were hurt. Many people are still hurt. Some people will be hurt till they go to their grave because the amount of pain and trauma that it caused them, they cannot recover from it. They will never recover from it. That's just the truth of the matter. But on a bigger picture, if God bless us to travel to the United States, Europe, other African countries that are developed and so forth, and we are in the age of technology, we are in the age of knowledge, we are in the age wherein you can research, find out things, and you get one group of people that won't lie to us and want for us to shut up, no, that will not happen. That will not happen. If that will be the cause for her to say we're disrespectful, or we hate the government, or we hate the president, then so be it. But we cannot live in the age of technology. Our parents, then back in the days, you know, I was talking to my mom this morning. When I left you, Mr. Kane, I was talking to my mom on the phone this morning. And I told her, I said, if we fail our children and the next generation, we'll have ourselves to blame. Because the truth of the matter is, everything that we need in this time is available to us in this generation.
You said it right. That's it.
Why should we fail? I say, I don't blame, I don't blame y'all. Back in the days, y'all couldn't make the case.
Yep.
I don't blame y'all. Y'all never had technology advanced like this. The education was not exposed. People were not exposed. How many people used to come to America back in the days? Yeah. Unless we got huge connections. So we could see it. But in the day and age where we got all this technology, we got all the facility, we got freedom of speech and everything, and I'm supposed to sit there and fold my hand and say, God will kind of free Labura. No, God is not in that mess. God is
not in the business. Yeah. And you said it right, Sekou. I mean, not Sekou, but Steve, we live in the age of enlightenment. Things, you know, I like to give the example. You can remember when this guy was impeached from office, or Richard Nixon. It was the media that removed Richard Nixon from office. In as much as people want to make it seem that he committed a crime. At the time, the media was the one driving the narrative because people were not informed. People that had privilege to information, there were very few. So anything the media say, but then everybody buy it. But these days, you got camera, you got investigative journalists, you got people that go into the trenches for information. So being an ignorant in this day and age is a matter of choice. So we're supposed to make better decisions than our parents or our grandparents because they never have information that we are privileged to, even on the fact of religion. Now, people are getting to find out things that have been hidden for more than 1,000 years because of information technology and because people have access to unlimited amount of information to make better choices. So if you live in this day and age and you choose to be brainwashed, it's a matter of choice now because the information are available. If you seek the truth, you can find the truth. So it's up to you. And you just said it right. You couldn't have said it any better.
So just so what are UP? What are UP Alliance? What are CDC? What are CPP, Unity Party, ANC, Liberty Party? Let me say this to you. If you think SKTV will come and tell your favorite thing, or can fall in line with certain group of people while they're doing the wrong thing, please go to church. Let them pray or go rededicate your life to God because it will not happen. It will not happen. We will speak the truth and we'll tell the Labrador people exactly what it is. Whatever they choose to do with the information is up to them. But we'll bring the information and put it out to the public so it can be outside there. It's not against anybody. It may you there change your ways. It may you there if you corrupt, stop being corrupt. Simple. But for somebody to can't say that and say, oh, the person disrespectful because they say they want, they owe SKTV hate the government because they thought they want, because they thought I want. You're wasting your time. Y'all were split tire because we here.
So now Steve and Monk, my question to the both of you, before the election, people talk about how Prince Johnson will be the de facto leader of the Joseph Boakai administration should Joseph Boakai wins the election, and he won the election. People were arguing, Joseph Boakai supporters were arguing that Joseph Boakai is a leader. Joseph Boakai will be making his own decision. And now that Joseph Boakai went ahead and appointed somebody as Minister of Justice, and Prince Johnson disagreed. And Prince Johnson said he got to remove that person and put the person there that I want. And exactly Joseph Boakai did that. What about the people now who were arguing with us, with everybody, that Prince Johnson is not going to control Joseph Boakai, Prince Johnson is not going to control Joseph Boakai government? What can they say at this point? Are they still going to live in denial? Or are they going to admit that, yes, indeed, you guys said it and you guys were right? Prince Johnson has influence. He is the de facto leader of the Boakai administration. And are they going to really admit and say that we were right and also speak the truth to Joseph Boakai? Or are they going to revert to their usual thing where they defend everything and anything that has to do with Joseph Boakai?
Second, you always ask the question, but people come into terms with reality. If you have a strategy that's proven to work over and over again, why would you want to change it? Why would they want to do something different when the voters themselves been incentivizing them for doing the wrong things? The people been denying things from day one, even before the election. They deny it. It was visible that the average voter could see a rating on the billboard as clear as daylight. And the voter decided that they were going this route. So why would the people who benefited from such a system decide to change it now? There is no need to change it. They will keep defending him until the last day. They will never come to grip with reality, and there is no reason that they should come to grip with reality, because the people who pushed them into power saw this thing and still they sign up on the rescue train. So there is no need to change it. Black Americans say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The strategy ain't broken, so why you want to change it when it keep giving you result? You keep playing defense. You keep defending the indefensible, even at the expense of the country. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're already in power. Nothing much to prove the elections are over. So why you want to change it? They will keep defending him to the very end. Even if Joseph Boaga will drop dead on the street, they will come with somebody else's body, maybe a body double, and say it's somebody else. Just keep defending the lies until you take it one day at a time. That's how they're going to operate. Then there is no need to change that.
Steve.
So to add up to Monk's statement, I will push it a little further. That Joseph Yuma Boakai has not only made Prince Johnson the de facto president of the Republic of Liberia, Joseph Yuma Boakai has bangled the hopes, the aspiration, and has sold the future of Liberia with our international partner to Prince Johnson. Look, what we are joking with and what we think is fun, it is not fun. This copper cry issue, I've been doing some extensive research on this copper cry issue. It is not something for us to take lightly. If you are a senator, if you are somebody who loves Liberia, if you are somebody who wants better for the future, if you are somebody who does not want Joseph Boakai government to be strangulated, to suffer, to be isolated, it's time for you to speak out on the copper cry issue and speak against that particular nomination. That nomination is strategic, is deliberate by Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kuhn, and it is to set us back like the way how the CDC-led government suffer. Yeah. And you think this is a joking thing. This is not a joking thing. It has diplomatic implications. It has implications where people will not respect you. And some of you are joking with it. You think this is your regular Gio and Manon thing, and I got to be in solidarity with my country, like Gio people time. This is not about it. It's the hope of this nation. Our people suffer for 6 years under George Weah. We don't need this amount of suffering. Joseph Boakai came here, he made commitments. This is not a joking thing. As part of his deceptive nature, he went back to Liberia, turned authority over to Prince Johnson. In fact, we verified that Prince Johnson was not even at the inauguration. We were told last night that Prince Johnson was not at the inauguration as part of a protest for Copper Cry to be nominated as opposed to Massacre. My people, this is deeper and this is bigger. This is not a joking matter. This is not a joking issue. Prince Johnson wants to insert his person and control the justice ministry. The justice minister in any country, if you don't know, is one of the people that is appointed by the president, but the person that can argue with the president. Oh, you don't know that. You're in that position, and any kind of small position, and that small position. It's a very, very strategic position in the government. And so if you are here and you are hurt and you want justice before you die, if you are here and you want to ensure that the rule of law in Liberia is taken seriously, the Copper Cry thing that they're going around with, you better call your senator and tell them, they might reject that vehemently and send it back to Prince Johnson, and they should send that nomination back to hell to where it came from. Because we are not serious as a nation. This has drawn the attention of serious-minded people around the world. It's problematic, it's troubling, and please don't take it lightly. This is a test also for Yombi Kanga Lawrence and the Dallas Delon, who, when he first took over, one of his quests was to ensure justice and accountability. I would thought he would be running away. This is time for the Senate to stand up and do the needy, do what they need to do. They need to do the due diligence. That's what they need to do. They had to sit down against some kind of little caucus and they say the carrying committee room and the other one and plenary and you play little games. That's not the time for it. That's not the time for it. That's not the time for it. Kopokra nomination is a serious setback for the country. And Joseph Boakai enabled this because he had the right to appoint people. He shouldn't have allowed Prince Johnson to influence that decision. Prince Johnson and pressure him and influence the decision. It is wrong. Monk, I think you got something to say.
Why are you talking about the rescue children? I mean, I don't like to make mention of Dillon because I think Dillon is mostly interested in denying natural-born Liberian the right to their own country than even bringing a World Economic Crimes Court. So for him, it's a no-brainer on this issue. But you said it right. It's up to our lawmakers, Nyombli Kanga, they know the economic implication. You know, it's the same thing we'll be saying every day here. You got an economic imperative versus you got playing with the devil, or how you want to call it, for political favor. I know Prince Johnson and his MDR, they play a pivotal role in making Joseph Boakai president, like he had done in 4 election cycles. So this is nothing strange. We're only looking as to the role now, as to what the president is going to do, the newly elected government is going to do. You either pick the South, the international community, and get something in return and make the country better, or you can choose to defend your guy and see what we get. You know, Joseph Boakai presidency comes with a very unique circumstances. He's not going for a second term. He's only going for 1 term. If he will make it to 1 term, which we all pray that he does. The fact of the matter is, will Joseph Boakai leave a legacy, or will Joseph Boakai play business as usual and protect everyone, even at the detriment of his own administration? That's what I'm waiting to see. But all the indicators are saying that he going the opposite direction. That's what I want to see. But maybe something could change. Who knows? They could withdraw it based on the revelation now with videos, evidences, and things, and people that know Kopokra that can authenticate that particular interaction on video. They could withdraw the nomination, or he could punt it over to the lawmakers and say, you know what, you guys can call him off just to make it the same. If to say I try to please Prince Johnson, but things never happen in the Senate. You know, politics is dynamic. You cannot think about it one way. Maybe Joseph Boakai knows that he's not going to be confirmed, but in order to appease Prince Johnson and make it look like he's on course, I'm going to nominate your guy. But forget it, I could make call to senators to deprive him of his nomination and approval, and that's it. So I play my part. The politics, we see how it goes. Now it's up to the lawmakers and the Nyombli Kangas of the world and the Dillon and people who claim to be in favor of the Liberian people now to take up the stand in the Senate and deny his nomination or disapprove of him.
Well, I agree with you, Monk. You know, I agree with you to some extent. But the truth of the matter also is, regardless of the nomination being rejected or whatever it is, this shows to other serious-minded people who are open to do business with a Boakai-led administration, that Joseph Boakai is probably projecting himself as not a leader or somebody who can be easily influenced or cannot be trusted. You don't go sit in meetings with people. Leave yourself on record of making promises. And then you go back, you walk back your words. When you have the power to enforce, to ensure that those promises that you made are kept. Secondly, regardless of the agreements that were made with Prince Johnson, Joseph Boakai is the head of state. He was elected, not Prince Johnson. Any decision he makes, it falls on him, whether good or bad. And if Joseph Boakai wants to benefit Liberia, as he said, things Liberia, build Liberia, and all the other funny things that I can be talking, which I've never believed anyway, he just pass around slogans. But that's his right. If he really, really cares about the future of Liberia, he will not be influenced or threatened or pushed over by Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kun. No, he will not. He is the president. The Liberian people voted him. They don't vote Jeremiah Kun as president. They don't vote Prince Johnson as president. He can't be puppet to Prince Johnson. No, he cannot. And if he cannot take that stand, then he will more likely so end up like George Weah. He will more likely so end up like George Weah. Because the Liberian people are trust. The Liberian people, let me say this. The Liberian people might be a little calm, understanding, willing. But if you think the Liberian people as stupid people, you are wasting your time. You think you can play the Liberian people? How many 80-year-old men around the world they can get a chance to be president of a nation? They gave you president of a nation, and they gave you the chance to be president of a nation, and you passing around playing game like you saw an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 21-year-old labor. You think this is a joke? You think this is a united party you running where you can go and dupe people, deceive them? Play Costa, play the other person, play Banana Ure, play that other person. Then you come back again, you say, oh, we'll move on. This is a government you are running. They're not
Some men don't fail at midnight.
Man.
So I mean, that's
you know, the president will be giving another State of the Union, I think on Monday, like they said. But I keep telling people on this show, at my age, I watch what politicians do. I don't listen to their speeches, and you just play that segment on the VOA. Joseph Boga new VOAs are accredited international media institution. You can go over there and say what you want to say. If your actions are not in line with your words, it's just a waste of time. You see, let me just read a small excerpt from Joseph Boga's speech on the inauguration day. Let me just show you something. And he keep making the case that this economic case here that people were deprived, our people been poor for too long, and he's coming to do something different. But looking at the people that Joseph Boga is bringing on board from Madam Zali's government, you cannot even make that case. There is what he said. He said, as I said, we must work together or fail separately. I am therefore assuring all Liberians that will be the president for all, irrespective of your political party affiliation, your county, your region, your gender, and social economic status. There is no contest between the so-called green Liberia and the blue Liberia. I mean, it sounds like Obama in this one. The southeastern Liberia and north central Liberia. There is only one Liberia we all share a common citizenship with. Compatriots and distinguished guests, we have managed to withstand a check history. We experienced economic growth in the 50s and 60s, endure a near collapse in where he put a time scorched by political war and preserve our dignity. He said, we must unite to confront the challenges and break free from all the stronghold. For we are one people, indivisible with a common purpose, who must come together in our diversity to build a stable and harmonious society in which every man, woman, and every boy and girl can have a chance to a dignified life. The presidential election was hard-fought, and we look forward to have a further divide our country politically and regionally. But what unites us is bigger than what divides us, and I'm therefore extending a hand of cooperation and peace to all my political opponents, knowing that the common bond between us is Liberia, and that we need to handle this for potential Liberia growth. Okay, sounds great. The words, it sounds like Obama or Deval Patrick. That's a good thing. You can read a speech. But the question is, are your actions in alignment with your words? And that's what we're waiting to see. I want to see that happening on ground. And then we will start doing
So I love that.
That was my favorite segment in the whole speech. That's why I screenshot.
Yeah, that was very good, and it sounded very, very sweet.
Yeah, very uplifting
and then conciliatory.
Yeah,
and it also sounded like somebody very promising. But we could have seen that in the first batch and second batch of appointments, where you will incorporate others who you said, you have no green, white, or southeast, northeast Liberia.
Yeah,
we should have seen that with appointments of at least one or two from other opposition political parties, qualified people. But yet, you say one thing and do something else. So my question to you now, when we listen to the president saying that we're not going to do business as usual, and at the same time doing business as usual, is the president actually listening to his speech? Or was this something that the president was just governed and to read? Like maybe we're written by somebody and then have some rehearsal and then go and read it? Or these are just a real thought from the president himself, that he thought of these things and put it on paper and deliver it to the Liberian people? Well, if you say we're not going to do business as usual, Ellen's son went to Noka and stole. Now you're appointing your nephew to Noka who said he wants to be a millionaire in 3 months. You are appointing somebody temporarily to maritime as opposed to appointing somebody directly. Okay, take over, Steve. Let me answer to this call.
So basically, that's why I said from the beginning, on Monday, that's why I said over and over again, and I'm on record for that. I didn't listen to that speech. I don't waste my time reading that speech. I would rather watch Muppet Show, like we are saying, like, bro, or watch Family Guy or something, or SpongeBob SquarePants before I even listen or read that speech. It's a waste of my time. I'm not going to waste any brain cell on that because I know fair well that these guys are liars, including the president as we speak. Look, let me say this. If you die living in lies from Joseph Boakai and the Unity Party, if you do that, if you die as a grown person, living in lies and the deception that they have carried you through, even when you go to hell, the devil will not forgive you because you chose to believe in lies from a bunch of liars who have been lying from day one. And some of you don't want to say Joseph Boakai a liar. Joseph Boakai a liar. I will say it anywhere, anytime. I don't care about that, y'all. Oh, you know, you can't say the men are older man, and you can't say they want. Y'all forget about that thing, man. And I see crooks grow to be old. And I see liars grow to be old. And I live long enough to see it. So to pass around and think you will hold me on that, oh, you know, you can't say the men are liars, you'll be disrespectful, and you disrespectful to the president. I forget that thing, man. Y'all go through it somewhere else.
So Steve and Brazilian Monk and our audience, you know, while we were on the show, we're talking about these appointments, including the appointments of J. Kabakoli, Cooper Crow, and all the people, and people being appointed to lucrative position by Joseph Boakai. Some of them temporarily, but they are there for time indefinite. We don't know when. So somebody said, you know, can you guys call Honorable Yeke Koluba to get his perspective on this topic? So I called him, and we were lucky enough to get him. Honorable Yeke Koluba is on the line. Honorable Yeke Koluba, good evening, sir. How are you?
Yes, sir. Sekou, Steve, and what my other brother name? What other general name, sir?
Brazilian Monk.
Brazilian Monk. Why are you calling Brazilian Monk?
Because we got two Cyruses on the show, so we got to differentiate. We got one Cyrus in Librarian, another Cyrus.
Don't speak big English, I will not understand. What do you call it? Car differential?
Distinguish.
It's a pleasure being on your show again. Let me say good evening to you people. On our side, it's in the evening here already. It's already in the night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Honorable Koluba, what do you make of these appointments, especially the Honorable President said that we're not going to do business as usual. And everybody accused Ellen for appointing her children in lucrative position. That a lot of people consider that as not being fair to the Liberian people. People consider it as nepotism. And now that Joseph Boakai appointed J. Kabakoli to Noka. And then Prince Johnson's factor. Prince Johnson forced the president to rescind the nomination of Masakwe and force him to appoint Cooper Crow. So what is your take on these appointments?
So, Steve, Sekou, and President Monk, let me tell you something today. Joseph Boakai have lost taste. Joseph Boakai get taste no more. Joseph Boakai lied to me by telling me that when he become president, he will not bring the same people that were in Ellen government that the Liberian people not wanted. From the day Joseph Boakai decided to start appointing new people, Joseph Boakai lost taste. I got no interest in Joseph Boakai no more. Joseph Boakai have become a complete failure. And I'm not going to regret it. You know, Steve, when you meet a girl, you don't know the girl attitude until you bring her close to you. Joseph Boakai is one person that used to cry on the telephone every day, especially when Costa left. Joseph Boakai, he wept They call me, where are you? Want to come to you? I say, no, you are older people. I don't want you to come to me. But I will continue the process and see to it that would liberate the Liberian people, the 55% of the people that wanted change. Oh, nephew, you know, you're going to call people nephew. Oh, nephew, you know, when you leave me, what I will do now? Second, even to the second round, Joseph Baka was on the phone with me until 3 o'clock in the morning. When the voting was going on. Everywhere he wanted me to go, I have to go there. In the morning, I couldn't read, oh, nephew, they put one time, they put one now, their own result. You need to do something. You need to get out in the street. I have to get out in the street to reach this point where Joseph Baka lied to me. Joseph Baka have lost taste. I don't have interest in Joseph Baka. Prince Johnson do not want for the war and economic crown code to come, and Joseph Baka have endorsed it. Joseph Baka feel he will go away with this. He will not go away with it. He will not go away with this. Appointing Copper Crow is telling the international community that to hell with you people, we're not going to have war. I will not be insulted.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Sorry, sometimes we speak the English, I don't understand, so you'll have to correct it.
You're good.
To tell the people, say, look, all that thing you're talking about, war economic conclude, you know, we don't have interest in it. Nima country will always decide who become president. So with this, the way they pick the drum. Joseph Baka said to me, if that will hold the devil, to sit down with the devil, to eat the devil, to eat with the devil, for me to become president, I will do it. And the only way we can do it is to dance with Prince Johnson. Joseph Baka have taken the wrong role. And Sekou, people think Native will also that one day, Joseph Baka and myself going straight 6 years. We are not going to rest. I have been threatening a lot of people, how they will come for me, they will arrest me, they will do the war. And I challenge Joseph Baka to tell his people to try it. The way I fought John Weir, I will fight him more than I fought John Weir. It's a challenge between he and myself. I'm waiting for them. So Joseph Baka do not want to prosecute anybody. If Joseph Baka had interest in prosecuting people, he will not bring the same old circle, recycle people back. The Liberian said in 2017, they never wanted Unity Party leadership because Unity Party failed them.
Yeah.
And who failed them? The same people that Joseph Baka bringing were the one the Liberian were referring to. That's what I said. They were referring to the same people that Joseph Baka said they went together and squander opportunity. You know, Joseph Baka have failed already. And I'm not going to be in bed with people that will fail. I'm distancing myself, and I'm going to distance myself from them. Joseph Baka and myself, we are no more Allah. I am the Allah of the Liberian people. You watch the process and see. People will say, oh, Lame will soon get tired. Like Jeremiah say, you're gonna crazy man. Fine. So Jeremiah couldn't know that when the war economic crisis come, they will have to be drawn into the whole process. Jeremiah was one of the senior presidents made George Weah to fail. They corrupt the system. We were in the house. We saw what Jeremiah did there to make sure that the Liberian people suffer. Jeremiah was one of the lead persons that made George Weah to fail today. That would oh, George Weah failed, George Weah. Who made George Weah to fail? It is the same Jeremiah there. People do not want to talk with oh, you know, they talk with the old man. We never voted for old man. We voted for someone to liberate the country. So anybody think we voted for old man to say we instrumented old man, I don't see old man. As far as I'm concerned, Joseph Baka just turned 40. And you need to liberate this country.
40?
Yes. That's the age of Joseph Baka. He's now old man. He saw the problem. He saw the weight of the law. He saw the Liberian weight and said he can stand the weight. Yeah. Now today you want to be old man so we can have sympathy? No. We're not having sympathy on nobody. Joseph Baka do not want to prosecute people. That's why he proceeding the way he proceeding. Look at Jake Kabakoli, his nephew. You know why Jake Kabakoli is the officer in charge? Because Joseph Baka do not want for Jake Kabakoli to go for confirmation.
Yeah. True.
Or But my man, Ellie Johnson Salif, appointed my brother Rahul Salif. Did he go for confirmation? He stayed there until the hotel finished. What is John with?
And then Joseph Parker said they don't want to do business as usual. So I mean that's the same thing Ellen did. So why does it mean that when you say they don't want to do business as usual?
Joseph Parker is doing more than what Ellen did. He has passed Ellen already. You want to see Joseph Parker whole day behaving he's sleeping. That Parker not sleeping, oh. That Parker not sleeping. The Parker behaving that he's sleeping during the quarter and that Parker hour open and people think are closed. That Parker was selling contract and say all things are. Let me tell you the first thought today. And they are taking nothing for joke. Let him get into my person, get into my level, solve the problem. It will increase the problem. Words that people do not want to hear, it will be used. When my left is being threatened, and I'm going to direct everything to Joseph Wakai. Let me tell you today, so you can understand it. Sheku, Steve, Brizema will not get nothing out of Joseph Wakai. Joseph Wakai has failed already. By appointing J. Kabakoli as officer in charge, you know what? J. Kabakoli will be there to Joseph Wakai to finish. Because J. Kabakoli then went around all around to get stolen money, to get corruption money for Joseph Wakai. That Jacob Akoli used to collect all the money from State over Joseph Waka. That Jacob Akoli used to go around to go collect money for Joseph Waka to eat. Now I asked the chairman on Spoon FM last night, if people are listening to Spoon. He said, oh, the party have money. I said, Mr. Chairman, where was this money when we were looking for money to carry Joseph Waka to hospital? When John Weah was giving Joseph Waka money to go to hospital, where was that money when Central was feeding Joseph Waka? He said, oh, if you don't have money yesterday, you could get it today. I told them my conclusion is you are receiving BRAF, you are starting to mortgage the Lebron resources. And the money you're playing with so. And people think I'm talking because I want to talk. I'm talking because I see the future.
Mm-hmm.
The future is bad.
Yeah.
People will say you brought him. I brought him and no one knew you were going to be the radical as an old man. And no one knew you to be a radical person. He was always submissive, always quiet. To get this position and show how radical he is. But he get a LeBron to contend with. So, Steve, Seku, Joseph Waka do not want to. Joseph Waka has intention of prosecuting nobody. And you know, court the law and nobody. As they say, you can't bear you like Joseph Waka will not prosecute nobody. Before even the first round was on Yomli place. I said, Yomli, the law, then Joseph Waka will not prosecute nobody. The law myself bet. He said in the 400 days, Joseph Waka will prosecute. And Joseph Waka don't prosecute. Yomli and Dilo and myself will get inside. Because they told me Joseph Waka will prosecute. Tell them say you can say they can't deny it. In Yomli, yeah. In Yomli, yeah. We said some things I would not say on the radio. It was there because I saw Joseph Waka and said, if I be, they convinced me. Normally you so come every day, you need to go to compound for before one see you there. You need the Joseph Waka when you so coming to go all the way to Bomi. As a youth chair unity party. People here only want to talk to you, you need to come. We will divert our campaign to go there so we can go and convince people. So today, they don't want to listen to what we say. I will fight these people. More than I fought Georgia. Let them take it for Joe. They don't know me. No Melessing can kill me. Seku, look at me. I offer like Melessing. What Melessing can do to me?
Nothing.
Nothing. So no, you don't worry for me. I will die. I just don't know when, where, and how. So Joseph Waka do not have interest in prosecuting nobody. Joseph Waka want to protect what a man Prince Johnson.
Prince Johnson.
Prince Johnson, the World Economic Council will stay calm. I don't care what Prince Johnson do. It will stay calm. Then one snake will come. So the person is supposed to boy, so he can boy. But I go myself for what? Every day you get forward, I want to celebrate myself. Why not stop in the corporate coming?
So, but you think so my question to you now, Honorable Yeke, so if the Senate confirms this man, Cooper Crow, to be the Liberal Justice Minister, don't you think Cooper Crow or Prince Johnson will use Cooper Crow to go after everybody like you, the other people who are going to be speaking all against Joseph Boakai government?
Segu, nobody can make me scared in the country. Even if Joseph Boakai can make me scared. Segu, no point to be in a party and call it scared of cancer. I don't want you to go there see your cancer level. Let me tell you today. People couldn't care all yet. Let me tell you the truth. Nobody can make anybody. Look, you only them became protest so they can do the wrong thing, not to do the right thing, to worship Joseph Boakai. Anything Joseph Boakai saying, well, you only them will pass it or not critique anything. Let me tell you today. Copper Crow will get over there, will be confirmed. Don't waste your time. And you only know very well it's wrong. You only were in the Senate when the former protest appointed Prince Johnson as the chair on national security. You only respond for the American government, right? You only sat down there again and made Prince Johnson co-chair on national security. You didn't put a serious for you know you only the American citizen.
Well, so Prince Johnson is the co-chair on national security?
Yeah. You know you only the American citizen.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she is. I mean, he is.
No, you know you're an American citizen.
I didn't know that.
Okay, she's an American citizen. So people do not have interest in the country.
You're a passport.
Interest in the country because we
Now it's a breaking news to me. I didn't know.
You say you can say.
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know it.
The relationship between the closest relationship between Yopi and myself. We're not talking about relationship now. We're talking about national issue. I will fight anybody that want to go against the liberal. Let me tell you today. Going forward, anybody go against the liberal will fight you. What Yopi has done for me, she has done a lot for me. But when you go against the liberal will fight you. I'm not too big to say what people have done for me. I don't have interest. You say, if you give me money, you don't control me. If you give me something, you don't control me. I control myself. Why you only get to lose in the country? You only can get in a place you go. You're an American citizen.
So listen, I want to understand this. I'm sorry. Before I go to my colleagues. So you're telling me that this new Senate, Prince Johnson is a deputy. I mean, is a co-chair
on national security. Yeah.
But then why is it that? I mean, under George Weah, what the man was giving the chairperson for national security, American people said no, it was not correct, and then he was removed. So why would Joseph Boakai government and Yombly-led Senate can accept Prince Johnson co-chair of the same committee?
So Seku, people did not come to change anything. I just realized that people didn't come to change anything. They came to erase themselves. They came to loot this country as usual, business as usual. That's what all these people there for. The guy that was appointed to Finance Ministry, I think the deputy for physical affairs. This guy, you know who brought him in this country? Is Prince Moi. This guy is a godson. Prince Johnson Prince Moi is his godfather. He sent for the guy from the States, and I think they put him to Deputy Minister for Physical Affairs. They got EPA, I call it environmental science.
Yeah, Environmental Protection Agency.
I can't think, but they put him to Finance Ministry. Say, you don't hear my name with Joseph Boakai. Joseph Boakai have failed.
What? You say you don't know Bob, but you know a lot of things, man.
Yeah. That's why he always went in there in court.
Yeah, because you know the compare.
He did environmental science. You understand what I'm saying?
They made the environmental science, then they make him deputy minister
for fiscal affairs. Yeah, fiscal affairs. Can you imagine? Environmental science and fiscal affairs. Like what I told you earlier on the show. Mismatch.
Wait, you think the Senate will confirm that one too?
The Senate will confirm, man. They just send it. But you see what the phone you'll be there for? So, you really believe all that horse that the chain that broke left? You really believe me also chain that broke left? That the one that depending on your down. You down when Allah horse that depending on.
Wow. All right. I mean, I didn't call the honorable to come here for a whole time. So maybe just allow Steve and want to ask you 1 or 2 questions, then you can leave us if you want to, because my mouth full. So Steve, go ahead, and if you have any question for the honorable. If not, then Mon can ask this question.
Honorable Yeke Koluba, my question to you is, what can we in the diaspora do to help buttress the effort, not only to expose, confront, but also ensure that the right thing is done? What can we do? What do you say to Liberians who really want change?
Steve, I'm very sorry to say, you people can do nothing. You put in the diaspora, you put an embarrassment to this country. Most of you put over that job here, Joseph Walker. You know, most of the people in the diaspora here for job. By the time you don't get a job, they will say, oh, Joseph Walker, that good. Joseph Walker, that good. Right now, Joseph Walker, good.
Yeah.
When you meet out with a job, then I thought Joseph Walker will not be good. So most of you people in the diaspora are embarrassment to the country. Sorry to say this.
You're right.
You put job we are. You people brought job we are.
That's the reality.
Yeah. You put Joseph Walker again. Joseph was supposed to you're coming move for honor Joseph Walker. Because your expectation very, very high. And Joseph Walker cannot meet up with the expectation. Joseph Walker will increase the civil servant salary. And the campaign message were pushing. Joseph Walker will you not see my trouble here. I will not get Joseph Walker rest until he increase. Tell the civil salary back to where Ellen left it. It will not be harmonized.
Brazilian monk. So that means your question, answer to Steve is nothing.
What you can do? Because most of them here for job. When you start being on Facebook. You're going to be on Facebook. So good. I mean, you're in America, you can work. What do you going live? You're not going to do that. Let me get to you. My wife is passed away. Let me order the Joseph Walker 2 years, but he's still on Facebook.
Oh, well now. So that we don't want you coming attack now. So we on Facebook.
No, it will be real. It will discussing real things.
I'm just messing with you. I know. You're right. You're right. You're right.
But he's still on Facebook. Go your live.
So you said the men I got to you more. They met only the Joseph Walker.
When you came in this video, we're trying to post on tea there. Maybe we'll take us some very good tea to put it
there. So, Brazilian Mo, do you have a question for Honorable?
I don't have a question for per se, because Yeke is always on point. I told you guys, Yeke is a military man like Prince Johnson. They're always strategic in their move, so they can see things from afar. You see, and he's right that the people in the diaspora are also enablers in as much as we can blame the voters. The CDC was founded in Minnesota. The same people that came out with the idea that Georgia could become a president in this day and age were the same people in the diaspora.
That's true.
On the show.
I was there. I was in Minnesota, and I saw everything, to be honest.
And it's a whole thing about job. And I don't know how many people can get a job in the government. You look at the country, 176 years, we are not making progress. We are beyond almost every country. And the people that you think that travel, that exposed, that came to an industrialized country, that know how difficult it is to make a living or to run a country, they will come and tell you that Joseph Braga and Georgia can run a country. So I'm on the border. That's why just said he said everything. Everything is on point. The diaspora too, we are also enablers in as much as we are not voting, but we set the tone. I keep making this comparison. Sekou, if you were to go, let's say you were to go to Nema and you went to your village, and all the kids are excited, they jumping, oh, our big brother Sekou back here. Those kids will be looking at you, they will be watching every decision that you will make. If you can go and tell them that Georgia or Bwaka could make a better president for Liberia, how do you think they are most likely to vote? They will follow your lead. They might not tell you directly, but they're looking at you and say, oh, Sekou that be better, Sekou exposed, Sekou travel to America, he come with a lot of ideas. If he can tell me that we are or Bwaka can become a better president for this country, then who am I to question Sekou judgment? And they will follow you. So we are enablers, whether we like it or not. That's the reality.
Listen, just before Honorable Yeke Koluba leaves, Honorable Yeke Koluba has always been a realist. Whether you like him, you don't like him, he will always say the truth. and stick with the truth. And I want to agree with Yeke on here that, yes, most of our troubles in our country, it comes from here. And it is problematic. It's become a serious problem and an embarrassment even to the country. We're supposed to be doing well and ensuring that our country is doing well. But like I said, almost everybody, when you call the phone, they're in Liberia. Almost all our men. So all the better Liberia that they've been making offer. It's all about them going to go for a job. And when they don't get a job, like I said, they will come back on Facebook now and say, he bad. Joseph Parker bad, but Joseph Parker been bad a long time though. So, I mean, I couldn't agree with Yeke anymore.
So you both agree with Honorable Columbus?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sekou, I want us to be very careful with the way we discuss the thing. It's not wrong for diaspora to come look for a job. But if you don't get a job, don't get on social media now and start saying the person bad.
Yeah.
Not everybody will work.
True.
That's my point. Because, Sekou, and you not believe him too. Because politics are interest. Put your mouth where your money is. People invested too much in Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker don't have food to eat. People invested too much in Joseph Parker. So in return, they need something. But politics are interest.
So,
you want something from there, you don't want profit from there.
Honorable Yeke Yapaolo Kolba, our people are asking, and they want you to really respond to it. They are saying, since when you got to know that Joseph Boakai was not good, and why you, knowing that Joseph Boakai is not good, why you campaign for Joseph Boakai? That's the question they're asking.
So let me answer the question. Sekou, let me tell you something today. You get out there, you see one foreign girl, you don't know her. Take the foreign girl, take her to your house. Sekou, when you want to know that a woman is correct, give her everything she wants, give her a car and take her to go out. No, poor people are always submissive. You don't know this?
True.
When you don't have money, Sekou, you will start calculating when I get the money, I'll pay it all over, I'll pay it all over. By the time you get that money, all are there gone. Then you become who you are, your real life. There's a guy that was blind. Let me just give you a short story. The guy went to the church and told the pastor, said, look, when you pray for me, when I see, I will worship God until I die. The guy used to go to the church every day. So one day, God decided to answer his prayer. Sekou, when I met Togi and said, my man, let's go out tonight. They went out. You know that Sunday, then they closed the ball. The guy refused to go to church for 3 Sunday. So one Sunday, while you are in the church dancing, he go back to the planner. He said, who call the let off? He said, the let off, we come back to your position. Because he did not live up to what he's saying.
He did not fulfill a promise.
He did not. Sorry, yeah, thank you for the correction. He did not fulfill his promise to the pastor and to God. So you see, I went around the campaign for Joseph Parker. I used my own resources. I used my own money. I used my left. Thinking that Joseph Parker will make the difference for us. People say it's been 25 years. No, for the day Joseph Parker started to bring the old people back to the government. With the way I saw him doing. I just gave up. I said, he can be a good person. I don't even want to go far up. Before people say, let me start saying it now, so people can know that, but you can say it. I did not know, because he had a ways, I did not know that you were going to deceive me in particular. Sekou, Joseph Parker used to call me every second. I swear to my living God, I got into action between Joseph Parker and myself. He used to call me every second, nephew, where are you? Nephew, when you not work on the will not win the election here. Nephew, what going on? Our nephew. You know, I went to Joseph Parker's secret and said, babe, I represented already, but I don't want to be closer to you, be a faster to you. On certain things. I don't want you to do certain things that will spoil us, that made you who you are, that sacrifice our left, that people will be asking the same question you're asking today. You knew all the day why you saw Joseph Parker. You know what happened to the people that came around Joseph Parker because they knew that I was going to do plenty things. The people said, I'm not correct, man. I'm not crazy, man. Papi, don't let him be coming around you.
What?
You know the folk coming crazy, man.
Crazy? You get crazy?
They were scared of going to look at Allah. I said, I said their job. I don't need job from Joseph Boakai. But we put our left into the thing. We don't want him to make the mistake. Because some of you put your desperate for a job. And then I told them in the face, same way I can talk to anybody in the face. I told them, I said, some of you people very desperate that way want to bring problem. I said, the check up according you see today. His son, the children were there when I told them. I said, you people will embarrass your father. Oh, I left when I said, I'm a crazy man.
Yeah, also, but before you go, the young people in the United Party, right? Like, for example, the Mo Ali, the Yabaka, Jaliba, and on the rest of those young people who that we consider young compared to Joseph Boakai and friends, they believe they fought, they did everything to bring Joseph Boakai to power. And now it seems like they have been left out. So what do you think will be their plight moving forward?
Because Prince Johnson I told you Prince Johnson list is longer than the Unity Party list, right? Prince Johnson want to employ everybody.
You told me that.
So watch the process and see. No, Joseph Boakai cannot take any decision by himself. They're taking decision for him. They're telling him what to do. I just got to realize that. And I regret it.
But you know, we have said that in the past. I said that many times that Joseph Boakai does not make decisions for himself.
He cannot make any decision for himself. He can be set up when Prince Johnson will call him. When Prince Johnson call her public, he'll call him.
What?
He's coming down. Prince Johnson call him. When you come and see again, my nephew? What Prince Johnson come and see again? I said, well, listen to him. When you come and see again, you listen to him. When Prince Johnson tell her, man, Billy go be cat. Billy go be cat.
You kidding me? Wow.
Is that the kind of person I come and wait my time here? You know the implication. Look, let me tell you the other story again. Tell the chairman say, you can say. Before the election, they posted for me to the American embassy when the tension was getting hot between President Dr. George Weah and myself. They posted for me to the American embassy. They say, you need to slow down. You need to slow down. The people told me, Sekou, we are on our way to tell the chairman that when Joseph Boakai is somewhere, they don't want to see Prince Johnson there.
Wow.
Let me give you one instance so you can know that what I'm saying is true. You know when I was naming Jeremiah Kun? You remember when I look for that recording? Our privilege to speak on that stage, Prince Johnson was not privileged to do it. But they pushing Prince Johnson way beyond. Prince Johnson was way beyond. I said, what the people told me is true. I believe it. So the chairman said, Yaka, you the one with trust. Can you go and tell Prince Johnson, this is what happened? You know what? They said, I went to Prince Johnson. I said, Prince Johnson, this is what's going on. Prince Johnson said, that's not true. How Prince Johnson would never deny it. I said, the post said he wants to see you closer to Joseph Boakai. I went to Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson is a real man of God. I can go to a pulpit with power here on the power to tell God the 2 hours will lie. One person will not see tomorrow. I told him.
And what was he?
They say, I get drafted to do it. I told him, Prince Johnson said, so you know, it can be true. You know, because I have a dollar for Nima Kante. So I call it Nima Kante for my in-laws. You know, if that's what you like, get happy. I said, I want to post it. And the message I brought to you.
So I want to know who people say that, the American people or the Unity Party people?
Yes, the American people, and not Unity Party people. The day I went to the embassy, the same day when I got to having a meeting, the people told me, say, we're on our way to the Unity Party office. Last same day, they went to meet the chairman. To tell him this story. But let me tell you something that you don't understand. You know the plain report, yeah? They want Jeremiah to be president. Or you wanted to work with the devil to win.
Yeah.
You don't want Jeremiah to be president. I want Jeremiah to be president. And that's what the judge Joseph Boakai say you want to work with.
Yeah.
So they are saying, look, the people will fight. Let me tell you something today. Remember what I can tell you today. I was privileged to be on meeting. How by the time Joseph Boakai said that, they would try to sell Jeremiah Kun. In fact, Jeremiah Kun, they say, you can say, as they say, the poor ever told you, say you too power greed, you too ambition, you behaving a president. I think you will not deny it.
Yeah, I think we reported that before when they were in Ghana. They told him that.
Segu, I don't play about the people, man.
So hold on. So hold on. You know the party people telling you Jeremiah Cohen is too ambitious, but that was after winning the election, though.
Yeah, bro. They say he's claiming that he's the president. He must slow down. Because Jeremiah Cohen not deny him. Segu, let me tell you something. Before I always say I'm president, anything I tell you that true. Jeremiah Cohen can't deny. Call Jeremiah Cohen. Say the point what you say. You need to slow down being the president.
I will call him. I will call him after the show.
Call him, he will not deny it. Say, I can say.
Wow.
And they want to fight Jeremiah. But the time they start fighting Jeremiah, at the time will fight for Jeremiah. Because I told them that Jeremiah is a rogue. Jeremiah is not a preferable person. Not for one motorcycle for Nima country or one shisha bar. I prefer that Jeremiah. They say, oh, that Jeremiah preaching. When they put one fight Jeremiah, will fight for Jeremiah. Keep the recording today.
Well, why will you fight for Jeremiah?
Because if you agree for Jeremiah to be vice president, was something happening in the instant Jeremiah to be president?
Yeah, then why you want to oppose him?
We must agree with that. That today you want for Jeremiah to be president, was something happy?
Yep. I agree with you 100%.
You know what Jeremiah and Joseph against somewhere? That's why they're attitude, why their movement. They can be very careful of Jeremiah.
So what did Jeremiah do to Joseph Barker?
Oh, yes. You want to say it? You want to say it?
I don't pay attention to that.
Get away from Jeremiah from Joseph Barker because they say he's too desperate. He's too able to be president of this country. But when he made him president, what happened when something happened to the president? They may become president. And I will fight for Jeremiah. Next time when we say something, they will listen. They let go get jail with me. They didn't know me yet.
So I want to say something here, and a lot of people will be shocked. I think Joseph Boakai, within the next 6 months, will travel to America again for medical attention.
There you
go. So my question to you now, if yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
You know the way I talk sometimes it look funny. No, if I'm around Joseph Boakai, I don't want job. No, I use my money to make Joseph Boakai president. I used to buy my gas to go around for Joseph Boakai to become president. You think I real Joseph Boakai PR you see me so? That's why I bought all my truck. I put my own music over here. That I used to go to Grand Cayman or other places. Baba Dabla used to hold me. They keep on telling where I went to King George. Baba Dabla and myself slept in the car on the road for her to hold my pickup. When I brought my pickup, the engine lag. I just pour engine for it. Look, Segu, the Constitution Article 63 say when the horse take power in the first 1 year, we must be able to define the war
incapacitation.
Yeah, incapable.
Yeah.
What's the definition of incapable? Sorry, you're not going to struggle with the English.
No, you're good, man. You're one of the best. You're one of the best, bro.
I'm saying? So the issue is we need to tell the people that Joseph Boakai is incapable. He's incapacitated. So the vice president need to take, and what they don't want to do. Joseph Boakai is incapacitated. That's the reality.
Wow. Yeah, but so why you basing your own argument on right now, declaring the president incapacitated? Based on what? You saying that?
Because simple. The president should come before on Monday. They're thinking about how the president want to claim the steps. And that one I'm not worried, but he will come there on Monday. How they bring you? They want to him that you want people, he will come before us.
Thank you very much.
Before us. They're thinking about how he will stay for 1 hour to address the national legislature. That one I'm not worried. But when he comes, he will not sit down. You can't come before us that you are guest. You came to present something to us to go. So we all watch on Monday.
And don't forget that the opposition control the House and the independent candidates and lawmakers.
Can you be the godfather of this country? You are very old. You say, oh, nephew, I can make it. And you know what the professor is doing? The professor get a job, he started working fast and doing that he want job. I say, okay. I said, okay. For the job. Tell me that I got trouble,
So, I'm sorry. So, instead of me started working fast. Oh no. Hold on. Joseph Baga wore short trousers and went on the beach.
Yeah, you went there.
You were all on Facebook.
Yo.
The great Joe Bomb.
You have to research, man. I beg you. Don't do that thing to the people. Don't do that thing to the people. Don't do research. Joseph Baga went on the beach.
Joe Bomb.
Damn. Wow. So yeah, so the reason why I was saying this, that in the next 6 months, everything we have said about Joseph Boakai health, you just confirm everything. You even went as far as declaring him as incapacitated, because incapacitation, by definition, it means that somebody who is unable to perform a task that they are supposed to perform. And we are saying he is incapacitated based on many factors. So I'm saying, yeah. So I'm asking you now, the way they don't want to see Jeremiah Kun president. So every time, Joseph Boakai travel, now the way it's looking, maybe Sylvester Grisby will be acting or will be head of the government. So, what if Joseph Boakai have a long-term, spending some long time outside of Liberia, wherein they spend more time than required. So what happens? Sylvester Grisby remain the caretaker of the government, or Jeremiah Kun becomes president or acting president?
We will declare Jeremiah Kun president of the country. But the new thing I come to push by the time we come back state and nation, I will push, I will defer Article 63 of the Constitution. Not defer incapacitation. Not defer it. And know the role. Then we'll look at Joseph Boakai. If the definition fail with Joseph Boakai, I will declare that we'll put that definition on him and declare him unfit. We'll make Jeremiah Kun president.
Man, Honorable Yeke Koluba, I want to say thank you so much for responding to our call, as always.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Honorable. Well,
thank you.
The Honorable man.
Wow.
Mr. Kane.
And Seku, I want to read that provision that Yeke highlighted in the Constitution, right?
Please do.
Audience. Yeah, let me.
Please do.
Yeah. Here's why it says, I don't want to go to the beginning. I go to section C. The legislature shall no later than 1 year after the coming into force of the Constitution prescribe the guidelines and determine the procedure on which the president, by reason of illness, shall be declared incapable of carrying out his duties in function of the overall office. So it's clear.
Can you read over again?
Okay.
More slow down in our reading. I beg you.
Yeah, please. One can read very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The legislature, that is the 1986 Revised Constitution, Article 63, Section C. The legislature shall no later than 1 year after the coming into force of this Constitution prescribes the guidelines and determine the procedure on which the president, by reason of illness, shall be declared incapable of carrying out the function of his office. So technically, it will be like a test by the legislature of physical test. It ain't saying here like cognitive reason. So physical standpoint, the lawmakers will decide if the president can move forward. That's why it's technically saying.
So this is part of the reason.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be part of the reason. This could be part of the reason for which the Unity Party, from a strategic standpoint, wanted to remove Fanati Kufa.
Yes.
This is the basis of this, because if you look at what it's saying, Fanati Kufa, by extension, the legislature get to make that determination.
Yes, they can.
So we thought from the beginning that it would be a medical doctor or someone that would do this, but from what the Constitution is saying, it rather
the lawmakers.
That's why they went as far as pushing this Fanati Kufa issue. They went as far as pushing it to the Supreme Court, where they wanted to hold this whole thing.
No wonder why they wanted to spend any amount of money just to get the speakership.
Right. That's why they zoomed in on the speakership. And as evidence by that also, that's why they wanted to control both houses. That's why they got Youngly in.
And guess who? And guess, according to our Constitution, this thing is very interesting. And in that case, guess who's become the vice president? The Speaker of the House. So Jeremiah can become president and Fanati Kufa becomes your vice president. Let me read that section again. I think in section D.
Wow, go ahead and read that again. Wow.
No. See, Mr. Kenneth, wait. You see, for all to get everything in context, and read from A, B, C, and D, so that we can put everything in context.
You want to put everything in context? Okay.
Yes.
Let me start from provision A, right?
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay. Whenever a president elected to the office of the president die or otherwise incapacitated before being inaugurated.
I mean, you got to slow down. Please, that your fast breathing. Stop that.
Yeah, unless you want me to interpret it.
Yes, slow down. Let it put here understanding for the first time.
All right. Let me do this. Whenever a president elected to the office of president dies or otherwise incapacitated before being inaugurated the office, the vice president elected shall succeed to the office of president, and his ascension shall commence a term. Section B, whenever the office of the president shall become vacant by death, by reasons of death, resignation, impeachment, or the president shall be declared incapable of carrying out his duties and function of his office, the vice president shall succeed to the office of president to complete the unexpired term, in as much case that is not a constitutional term. Section C, the legislature shall no later than 1 year after the coming into force of this constitution prescribe the guideline and determine the procedure under which the president, by reason of illness, shall be declared incapable of carrying out his duty. Now, we'll go to section D of Article 63. Whenever the office of the vice president becomes vacant by death or resignation, impeachment, inability, or otherwise, the president shall without any delay nominate a candidate who, with the concurrence of both houses of the legislature, shall be sworn in and hold the office as vice president until the next general elections are held. Whenever the vice president-elect dies, resigns, or is incapacitated before being inaugurated, the president-elect on the same ticket with him shall, after being inaugurated in the office, nominate without delay a candidate who, with the concurrence of both houses of the legislature, shall be sworn in and hold office as vice president until the next election. Now, Article 64, this is where it becomes very, very clear. Whenever the office of the president and the vice president shall become vacant by reason of removal, death, resignation, inability, or other disability of the president and vice president, the Speaker of the House of Representatives shall be sworn in as acting president until the conditions of election to fulfill the vacancy so created. Should the Speaker be legally incapable or otherwise unable to assume the office of acting president, then the same shall devolve in order for the deputy speaker and members of the cabinet in that order of precedence as established by law. The election commission shall within 90 days conduct election of a new president and vice president. So it is clear.
So Cyrus.
Yes.
Based on what you just read in these different articles, Article 63 and Article
64. Yeah.
I want to put something into context here and perspective really quick, for which the Unity Party is making some moves that seemingly people overlooking it, but they're strategic in the moves that they're making. First thing first, the reason the Unity Party fought to get both houses was because of this. They're quite aware about this issue of being incapacitated. They're aware of it. They have lied about it. They have kept a tight lip on it, but they're aware of it. But let's move to the second part. Let's move to the second part as a little interesting. In the Senate, Jeremiah Kun is the president of the Senate. If you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, Jeremiah Kun has influence in that Senate. He was a senator. He was a representative. He has relationships. In fact, from what we have put together so far, the essential of Thomas Fowler benefits Jeremiah Kun. This is a long shot these guys are calling. People are overlooking them, but there's a long shot. Unity Party at the end of the day will become losers. Let me tell you why, if we put the math together. It doesn't make any sense that Amos Twe, who is the party secretary general, Luther Tape, or common community crook, I don't call him Reverend, all of them want to leave the party. Normally, you would maintain the party because it is the ruling party. But if these guys are insisting that they want to go into the executive, what they're saying to you in essence is, this party might not be in existence. When we are in the executive, we might benefit. So what Prince Johnson and they in the reverse was, they did not submit themselves to Unity Party. They kept the alliance because they saw the long shot too that they would come up to the presidency. And what are Unity Party like they are now? The nightmare that your face, like you can say.
So
for me, that's not my take.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Segu. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I just want to add something, but go ahead.
From those sections that I read, the scary part is, and Steve said it right, they're anticipating maybe the worst. Because when it comes to the office of the president and vice president, it talks about the concurrent of two houses. We mean both of them should agree. But in the case of Joseph Boaga, only the House of Representatives can make that decision. And the Constitution is very vague, because when you establishing the guidelines and procedure, it means our lawmakers in the House will be acting like doctors. It's telling them that, you know what, you can make the rules as to what you consider to be capacitated or incapacitated. Now, don't forget, with this 55th legislature, in the lower house, seditions are almost in majority on the party line, and you got more independent. So with a volunteer cover knowing that he could become the second man in command, they are able to put something together to incapacitate Joseph Boaga, because they won't need the blessing of the Senate in this case. Only the House got that constitutional authority to pass a judgment. So the old man is still in a deep problem. For people who believe that they can muscle Jeremiah Kun, I think Jeremiah Kun can use his influence, because don't forget he came from the House before going to the Senate. And this time around, he is favored to be president if the House is going to take that route. So now, Fonanti Kofa and Jeremiah Kun could form an alliance and put their men together and kick Joseph Boaga out of office constitutionally. That's the scary part.
So in this case, they can even come to a conclusion and decide that sleeping is
considered. Yeah, they set the rules and guidelines and the procedure.
So, forgetting about your own son name or your grandchildren name will be considered to incapacity.
Oh yeah, the cognitive problem right there.
But even as that,
okay, go ahead.
No, finish your question. I wanted to say something, but finish your question first.
No, what I wanted to say is to you, Steve, you know, SKTV is one of the hope and aspirations of Letterman people, including those we consider corrupt. But what I want to say is that when we are making reference on most of these guys and we're discussing the issue, we should not call their name. I'm talking about the Luther Tape. So it will not sound like you have any personal issue with them. We got nothing against them. We got no issue with them. Every time they want to come on SKTV, they have the right to come here. We ask them the relevant questions, but we don't want to sound like we have any personal problem with them, so they can be afraid to come and clear their side with the Liberian people. I'm just saying this. Nobody complained to me or anything. I just want us to open the level playing field. Even we disagree with any officials of government, whether in the legislature or in the executive, let's just give them the benefit of the doubt so they can come and clear their side. On discussing the issue, we can take the discussion to any level we want to take it. Or calling their names, we just slow down with that. I just want to say that.
Mr. Kana, I will have to agree with you. Ludo Tabe, you now a common community criminal.
Yeah, thank you.
I will take it back.
Thank you, appreciate that.
But I will not call you Redding.
Yeah.
I will not call you Redding. But anyway, let's move on from that. Let's get to see what issue, but you're right. So that it doesn't scare some of these guys away because they want to come around.
Yeah.
Let me say this though. Let me say this. First of all, the guys are in the legislature, including the current Vice President Jeremiah Cohn. They have worked together. They have been together. They have bonds. They have connections, and they talk to each other. This was a long shot that they took. You remember the conversation about 2029, Edwin Snow, and they went to Bombing, and they met Edwin Snow and Wembley, and all of that. One of the things Unity Party did not do, and they shot themselves in the leg, was to leave the CPP. They thought they were hurting a certain group of people. But these guys exploited that move to go away from George Weah and bring in Joseph Boakai at the last minute to align with him.
Yeah.
And I'll give them the credit. They did it in a smooth, methodic, and strategic way to get there. I'll give them the credit for it. What Unity Party did not do well is to think that they could play everybody and still want to play people that they got in alliances with last minute time. This is where they miscalculated. Unity Party did not see this coming. Unity Party were all focused and zoomed in on getting to the presidency. They did not prepare for this. And because they did not prepare for this, it will hit them high. I wouldn't be surprised should Jeremiah Cohn ascend to the presidency. I said should. And he get rid of all those key Unity Party people that they put in key positions, this lucrative position, even including the Jacob College to remove all of them. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised because here is a relationship that they built based on hate and deceptions of other people. Even George Weah was a victim of this conspiracy. I will say it again. President George Weah and the CDC were victims of this conspiracy because there are people that they trusted. As evidenced by that, even the corporate crowd that we're talking about, Representative Akaras will refer to him as a traitor. I read an article, I read a piece, and some things started to come together. So at the end of the day, I will say to Unity Party people today, y'all wanted to dance with the devil. And like Yege said, I will stand with Yege on this as well. Jeremiah Cohn, in as much that he got corruption allegation on him, in as much that Jeremiah Cohn is a funny character, as evidenced by his deals in the House when he was there, and also the Senate and his associations, Jeremiah Cohn deserved to be the president. That's what we voted for. Any attempt to remove Jeremiah Cohn on SKTV will talk about it. All the plots that you're having will talk about it. Jeremiah Cohn that right should not be taken from him. We shouldn't do that. We told you from the beginning, your ostracized Costa, Benena Ure, and other people, y'all deceptively went to the CPP, tried to pour crime on Cummings. Only for you to come to win presidency, you're not win. The person who you decided to carry, we will stick with that person who agree. Any attempt for you to bring foolishness, we'll rise up against you. You're sure you know. So the soup that you cook, you will eat that same soup and it will be in your stomach. We are here for that. Mr. Kane, I would not even be surprised if Yombly and Delone fall in love with a Jeremiah Cohn play. I would not even be surprised.
So,
yeah,
that's a scary thing.
That Steve, I just want to clarify something real quick. Whatever I said to Steve here, Steve does not have a problem with it. Steve knows exactly the reason why I said what I said. And that's the reason why he did not hesitate to take it back. So if some of you have problem with the way I talk to Steve and I spend almost more time together in person than we do on Facebook. Even last night we were together till 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning. We talk every day. We meet every day. We eat together every day. So some of the things that we do that need to be said publicly, we say it publicly, so they will not benefit only me and Steve. So it can benefit other people. So other people can know too, they are welcome on here. Whatever I want to say to Steve in behind the scenes, nobody's going to be there. But whatever position we're going to take as SKTV, this is not Sekou or Steve. We have a team. And we're speaking to the people. We want people to be in the know of some serious position that we take. Everybody is welcome on here. On SKTV, we don't censor people. We don't tell people how to talk. We don't tell people how they should perceive certain things and how they should approach it. We don't tell you who to support, who not to support. But anything that will be in the interest of SKTV, we all work to make sure that is done, whether in public or in private. Yeah, so my friend who have problem, with me saying or correcting Steve in public, if you have problem with Steve, don't have problem with it. So if you have problem with it, I'm sorry, but it's about SKTV and the integrity of our platform. I'm glad that Steve understands. When it comes to SKTV, in fact, Steve is one of the reasons why SKTV still exists. If you don't know that. SKTV, akin to a point, I was discouraged about the way our people behave. It came to a point where I said, you know what? I'm done with this thing, man. Steve said, no, we can't. So whatever we can do to bulwark the image of SKTV, we'll do so, whether in public or in private. Well, thank you, though. We appreciate your talk. Your thought. So, Steve and Brazilian Monk, today's show,
the topic
it's supposed to finish 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, not easy.
But for me to see Steve and Brazilian Monk, we passed 2 hours, none of them complain of leaving.
Yes, because sometimes you're so immersed in the show that you cannot keep track of the time. That's just why it was so interesting.
Even our audience are here.
It's still
nobody
left.
They want the show to continue. But the good news is, tomorrow is another day.
Yes.
They won't go.
So we will be here tomorrow again.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that the audience asked for us to call Yeke Kolba the representative of district number 10, and we did so, and it made him, and he elaborated immensely. Yeah, he made talk. He gave us a lot of breaking news. But again, to remind all of you, Steve, you think you have an announcement to make?
Yes, I do.
So you make that announcement, but what I wanted to say to everybody is that we are in discussion, serious discussion about our radio station project. And we are getting somewhere. We got a lot of good news coming. Yeah. So a lot of good news coming, a lot of good things in the pipelines. So all we need to do is to make sure we get our act together. Steve, so people now start calling. Like a few calls before we go, please.
Yeah, so we can go read our party for tomorrow.
Yeah. So let me take this. So call us 609. Last 4 digits 0724. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Sigal, my dear brother, good afternoon. Thanks for the show, man. It's so informative, and you're playing your part.
Thank you.
Election
like a civil duty that you guys are performing. But listen, man, I know Yeke Kolba lay his position, and I commend him for that. I'm not a fan of Yeke Kolba, but the authenticity in this case deserves commendation. But listen, the issue at foot right now, the issue about appointing a justice minister emanating from the likes of Prince Johnson should be of great concern that either one will follow when it comes to the presidency of Waka. Prince Johnson should be in no position to even recommend anybody when it comes to the security apparatus of that country. If you guys can vividly recall, Senator Johnson was rejected to serve as the chairman of the Committee on National Security. What business he should have to be nominating anybody to serve in the security apparatus? Because mind you, the Justice Minister is the chairman of the Joint Security of the Republic of Liberia. And Prince Johnson being so security savvy, he served as the security intelligence for the armed forces of Liberia. So there he's interlacing. He wants to get a foothold in the security information of that country. Predicated on that, the Justice Minister is the gateway for that. Mm-hmm. That's one. Two, the loyalty of Kupakura should be questioned to all of us right now. Because when he was serving as Post and Telecommunication Minister under President Weah, his loyalty was not to the president, his loyalty was Prince Johnson. That's the reason why he attended the United Party Convention when led to his dismissal as minister. So he's not going to serve the Republic of Liberia as Justice Minister. He's going to answer to the call, the whims and caprices of Senator Johnson. That should be concerning. Prince Johnson should have no want to be a Justice Minister, Defense Minister, all of the security apparatus. That man should be completely non-prosecuted. The one people can see.
Abraham.
Yes.
Before you go, are you aware that Prince Johnson is the co-chairman on national security at the Senate?
That's the problem.
So where do we go? Where do you go from here?
No, dear brother, because if the man at the time nominated himself as chairman of that particular country and was rejected, what's the difference?
So what does that say about this particular Senate? I'm so flabbergasted. What does that say about the Senate?
It's a problem because here's the thing. I read from the front page newspaper. I just read it before yesterday when you guys were on the show. I listened to him. And I read it furthermore. Wearing the likes of Nyombi Kanga, Prince Johnson, Jeremiah Cole, pressurized Joseph Boyka to withdraw the nomination of Jonathan Massacre. That's to make way for the nomination of Kopakura. So it's troubling. It's troubling because I think I was stated before that Nyombi's ambition is to eventually catapult the vice presidency in case of eventuality where Boyka is incapacitated or removed. So that ambition still stands. So unless you're going to dance to every demand of Prince Johnson and the NDR. So it's troubling. Prince Johnson could serve on the chairman or any other thing, but not in that capacity. So the hopes of Liberia to state that, oh, yeah, they're going to have, how do you call it, war crime court in our country. Completely, it's going to miss like that. It would never happen.
Thank you,
and it's going to be a trickle-down effect on the country. The country is going to get strangulated again. So, my brother, it's important that you guys hammer home this thing. Yeah, I understand that was President Boyka's situation, but the eminent Justice Minister, this is the man that questioned the president at word and pleasure.
And not only that too, besides the Prince Johnson's factor, and this guy being one of those people that killed President Doe on camera. It is alleged that he was the one that went to President Doe and asked him, "Sami, do you remember me? I went to Ellie with you. and you betray me. And if the Senate can even get that authenticated, should I be a reason to even deny him, besides even his injustice factor?
That's the answer on the case. But here's the thing, Sebu. Assuming that he didn't even take part in the murder of President Doe, Prince Justice should not be in any position to pick anybody for just a ministry or any security part of our country.
True.
He should not, because the Lord is not veto him. And here, Prince Johnson is a guy that has demanded.
They can even use that and overthrow the president.
Yes.
Because Justice Minister is the chairman of the Joint Security.
Yeah, he is the chairman of the Joint Security, Justice Minister. He is the chairman of the Joint Security. And mind you, Sebu, if you recall, guys, let me just close on this.
Please.
When President Weah took over, the first person he nominated as Justice Minister was turned down for just minor issues. Eventually, that guy got appointed a labor ministry. That man was never confirmed. He was never allowed to even go for confirmation hearing. And then subsequently, they appointed Musa Dean. So now, why would you have a Kupakura with all of the baggage coming to come and say, with Prince Johnson nominating him? And he going all hair band to do it? It tells you a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Liberia should wake up. Thank you, sir.
Woo. Wow.
So, Mr. Kenneth,
yeah.
Before we take the next call here, I wanted to say this. In as much as we're overlooking something, the Yombli Kanga factor.
Yeah.
And that's not something that we need to go around on. It is evident, and I think it has been corroborated, that Prince Johnson is still the second person in command for defense and security in the country at the Senate level.
That's not good.
And Yombli and Dillon acting like a natural thing or a normal thing. It speaks volume of her leadership over the Senate. One of the challenges that we put up to Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence and encourage her to do as a leader in the Senate is to ensure that they push about the issue of auditing the Senate. She is a leader. She can push for that and be on the record for it. If Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence thinks we're going to sit down and let her slide and they play that female card, that will not work. We'll have a special show here where we'll bring Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence record out for days. Because this checkmating team must be across the board. We must hold all of them accountable. This is not a joking matter. I just want to point that out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we will take a few more calls. People who ask us to pin the number, the numbers are there. Call us, tell us what you think about the discussion today. We're going to take a few calls because we're not going to go over 3 hours. Never, ever. We could already be here now for 2 hours, 48 minutes. So if you feel like you want to call to say something in regard to the conversation, please feel free to do so. So, Mung, while we await the next caller, this is a serious concern that Steve just brought up. Personally, I didn't pay attention to the composition of the leadership structure of the Senate. I didn't even read it because I know it was all made up. It was all adjournment agreement. Nothing. There was no due process. Maybe there was a due process, but they were all like, there's some formality just to, do something for the camera or for the optics. But deep down, I know all these things were worked out behind the scene before they even embark on the process. So now that this thing is up, now people are now thinking about it. People are having second thoughts now. Do you think the Senate should rescind that position of Prince Johnson as co-chair on national security. Or if they fail to do so, would this be a problem with the United States government? Because the frowns on Prince Johnson being on national security, because they say it compromises America's national interest, national security interests. So do you think the Senate should ask Prince Johnson to resign that position, or should they take the risk and fix the United States?
Everything is a matter of choice. You see, it was the same point that Yeke made concerning the issue of Jeremiah Cohn. It's the same scenario you got the Senate faced with. The reason people never recognize that, because most of the publication, when they talk about the chairman, nobody was looking at the co-chairman. And the co-chairman on a committee are almost like someone who is serving as vice president or president. The reason you pick a vice president in politics is the reason being someone who is able and willing to take on the responsibility of the presidency from day one, just in case the president is not available. So if the American government are going to front on the idea that Prince Johnson cannot be on the National Defense Committee, and you came back and making co-chair on the very same committee that people objected to, it makes no difference. Because a co-chair means he just one step away from the same position he held. So technically, if the U.S. government will say, oh, we are not in favor of this particular man heading this committee because of his past, then how can you make him co-chair on the very same committee? So the same thing you get. Look, Sekou, we are in a tough situation, like, bro, because it seems like our lawmakers can barely think. It's the same thing you see coming from Joseph Boakai, right? With the whole copper cry issue. If people got the same thing you're having in the executive branch, is the very same thing that translates to the legislative branch between the Prince Johnson co-chairmanship and being chairman of the same committee that people raise objection to. So it's the very same thing. And the folks that are here that are trying to muscle Jeremiah Cohn presidency is inevitable. I keep saying it all the time. And the Constitution just said it right, because you saw this thing. Like I said, we signed off on this thing. Our people signed off on this thing. They saw this impending danger. We told them, are you willing for Jeremiah Cohn to be president from day one? Or you didn't see it that way? And now, look what the Constitution is saying within the first 12 months. And who can tell what might happen to Joseph Boakai based on his pre-existing condition? And he need to be, nobody's praying for Joseph Boakai to die. But the lawmakers in the lower house, when they're talking about guidelines and procedure, they can look at his cognitive ability. They can look at his physical ability. They can look at his medical checkup. They can look at the length of time he's still out of the country and come up with that decision.
Can they also request his medical record? Do they have the right to do so?
Well, I don't know if there's a provision for that, but they could make the case that if they are
if they have the ability to make a determination on his,
they will need those stuff.
Well, from an ethical standpoint, they have the right to request it, but then it will be left with the entity or so forth, because the liability issue as well. So they can write and say, we request this, but because of patient privacy or whatever, the healthcare protected information, whatever. Now, the medical facility or whatever.
No, I mean, to request it from Joseph Boakai himself. That was my question.
Joseph Boakai has the right to give it out now. That's his personal medical information, right? But I'm saying there are ways to go about it to get it from the hospital to Joseph, procedures, right? So let's say Joseph Boakai refuses to give it. They write the hospital lay out their provisions, so we can't do this because of this. Then what they can do, they can either go to a court in the United States to try to get it through the court, because then that will be legal and legitimate. But they themselves as an institution getting it from another institution, know that personal healthcare information sometimes it's difficult and challenging to get that. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
The scary part. Right?
Yeah, go ahead. So we have two more callers here, then we will call it.
Let's go with the caller. We'll continue the thing tomorrow. We got other things to cover. Let the callers go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So our caller 980 number. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Sumo, and I call from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Your name is?
Vasco Sumo.
Vasco Sumo, welcome.
Yes. Thank you. For me, I have a different view. My observation when it comes to President Boakai, I think Boakai is not in control. Because we all know the power that the president possesses. He has the appointing power. For the manner and form in which Bwaga is taking his own time to appoint people. So which means if somebody's name come up, that means he has done his due diligence and that person is the rightful person. But for us to see Jennifer Massacre name something, and the next day or few hours, the name came out, something is happening. For me, I think, like we all been saying, at this level of the president age, there is a lot of problems he's facing. So, apparently this old man will do something, or the president will do something. At the end of the day, those guys around him will say, no, gentlemen, we need to do this. And if you notice, even on the executive marshal website, when the list come out, you don't just see those names on Facebook. So there is something in hiding from him. Look at the program name surfacing and they're taking all Jamaican or Massacre. Something is happening. This old man is not in control, and we in serious trouble.
All right, my brother. Thank you so much.
Guys to continue to play with that old man, we're in trouble. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, the last caller, but last not the least, caller, what is your name and where are you calling from? 704 number.
How you guys doing?
You're sounding very...
My name is Brian Coury, and I'm calling for Charlotte, North Carolina. Great show, guys. I just want to tell you guys that everything that you have said is coming to fruition from the time the election was, going on. But everything we're looking at today, it's no mistake. These guys, they play this thing. Look, if you notice, when Joseph Breaker did not pick Nyomdi Kanga Lawrence, Prince Johnson went to Yomli to convince her. She spoke with Jeremiah Kuhn. She spoke with Prince Johnson. So Prince Johnson left. Yomli Kanga accepted to be on the train. This is the playbook. The Long, Yomli, Prince Johnson, Jeremiah Kuhn, the whole singing. They know what's going on. This is the game that they play. Joseph Breaker was just like people were used to bring Joseph Breaker, to use Joseph Breaker and bring these people to power. Yomli, if anything should happen, Yomli is going to go as vice president. This is not a mistake. You guys playing with thing here and use the Liberian people, use the old man as well to play this whole thing. So what we're looking at, it's no mistake. This is something that you guys put together. And the Liberian people, I mean, hey, they got, election got consequences. What they thought they were doing, playing President Weah, playing Cummings, and playing Liberian people. We got another thing on our hand, man. We just pray for a better Liberia. If Jeremiah Kuhn becomes president, we just pray and hope that he will put Liberia first. But that's exactly what's going to happen. Watch this. Those guys are going to impeach. They're going to take President Breaker because of incapacitation. Because Joseph Breaker is incapacitated. He's not well. We all know that. But they played the Liberian people because they knew that the only way they were sent to the presidency. So my man Chris, so keep it up. We pray that. My concern right now, Sekou, is that with the kind of thing that going on with the government, with Prince Johnson having control and all of this, would they be willing to give SKTV frequency? This is my concern because they know SKTV is a station that is going to be on it. I'm not sure if they're going to give us that frequency, but we pray.
Yeah, SK, I can assure you, with God on our side, with all the good people, we're going to be on the radio and not in a very distant future.
We pray. Some of us don't talk, but we here to support the show, whatever we can do. Some of us don't come here all the time, but we will do what we can do. I mean, SKTV is number one. I don't see SKTV is the only radio TV station right now that brings the fact. No censoring. And everything that you have been saying from day one, this is why it's coming to fruition. We've seen it, everything.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. And thank you for the support. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
V, my man, I said we'll lower the last caller, but you keep calling. I don't know, maybe you got something important to share with us. We're about to leave now, please. 1 minute if you can.
Thank you to your co-host, Mr. President, for giving me the opportunity to say what is actually on my mind. Like I said, I'm not going to take enough time. I am supporting Ambassador Dusan Baka. I'm supporting him doing a campaign. And to be honest, I'm not one of the great supporters of Yeke Koliba out there, because the way he addresses issues, the intentions might be good, but the application, the way he go about it is something I've always had problem with. And I never supported Ambassador George Weah, and he was also opposed to Ambassador George Weah. I never supported the way he tackles issues. But in this particular instance, I'm talking about the 60,000. It's raising the issue of how the 60,000 was raised. Well, I think it's timely, unlike the way others might think. I also think he's right. The party needs to tell us how the 60,000 was raised. Initially, I argued that the 60,000 was maybe a remnant of the money that they raised for the campaign, since they did not use everything. They decided to take some to help our people. But having listened to the chairman yesterday on Spoon TV when you were asked the same question, he found it difficult to answer it. So it gave me a rethought. If the system was the 60,000 given to them by some Lebanese businessman, some basic institution, or some individual, if it is so, that individual will not give the 60,000 because he or she likes them, he or she likes the party. That individual will be giving the 60,000 because he or she wants something in return. That is conflict of interest.
Definitely.
That's corruption. We were a campaign of change, a campaign that the government was going to be an open government, that the government was going to practice good governance, and that the government was going to be accountable to its people. And so, Honorable Yeka Koliba raising the issue of 60,000, I think it's timely, and I think the party should address it. We want to know how they got the 60,000. Yes, the area where the 60,000 was used, it was necessary, it was good, helping our people. But we are not looking at where the 60,000 was used. We are not asking how they used the 60,000. We are saying how it was raised. How did they get the money? We want accountability. And right from the word go, I think it's good that we hold our leaders or foot to fire so that they can do the right thing. This is why, even though I'm supporting the Unity Party, I supported for Nati Kofa doing the speakership because I wanted an opposition horse that will compel this government to succeed, to work. Because if this government fails, we in Nigeria will be greatly disillusioned, will be disappointed. We will never believe in politics. So this government must succeed. And in order for this government to succeed, the government has to practice good governance. The opposition, political party, ANC, citizens also, they have to engage the government constructively, stand up to it when necessary, agree with it whenever it is doing something in the interest of the Liberian people. And so I'm adding my voice to that of Honorable Yeke Koliba. Where did they get the 50,000 from? We want to know. We want to know how it was raised. We want to know. It's important. We want to know.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much. And next time, please call in the middle of the show so you can have ample time to talk. But I give you this time because it's you. Because we were already gone. And the reason why it's you, because you are part of the SKTV family, so that's why we give you the time to do that. Other than that, when we say the last caller, that's it. But thank you so much.
And I really appreciate that. I appreciate that coming from you and your co-host,
Steve.
Mr. Bullet.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much. So, gentlemen, I think we can call it a day.
Yes, gotta make that announcement real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Folks, we're scheduled to meet tomorrow on a Zoom call. Those of you who send in your numbers.
I think it was today. It was supposed to be today, but
today, yes.
But tonight.
But I think we revisit a decision because it would be unfair for those who never followed the show on Friday. So we wanted to extend it up to a week. So the meeting, it's rescheduled for next Sunday. I think next Sunday will be the 4th of February. I'm not sure, but I think it will be the 4th. I have to double check here. But basically, it's rescheduled for next Sunday. We will communicate with you the Zoom information and so forth. If you send us your number and your full name, we'll definitely send it out to you. You know, yeah, next Sunday will be the 4th. So please look at your calendars. Please be there. Those of you who send out your name, it's voluntary. So no one's forced, but we encourage people to, you know, we got a lot of things to talk about as we move forward because we have some big, gigantic, humongous plans. Tomorrow we'll go into a little bit about some of the people there, some of the positioning that they're in there, send to get brought about the diaspora. We'll tell you about what pass that we want. We got that information. We'll tell you about what other people you see bouncing. When they come by and they feel tired and they start criticizing the government, we will criticize them. And we'll pray for some of them on live video so that they can put their life together because they're confused. That job they went for. We know the job that they went for. We got the information. We'll tell you tomorrow. And the other men who vet too, the position they get in, we'll tell you too. So that ain't it.
Thank you. Thank you. Brazilian monk.
Well, I mean, we'll call it a day. I can't even keep track of the time. We've gone almost 3.5 hours.
3 hours, 3 hours and 5 minutes.
And the audience was just so glued. The numbers never came down. It just remained stable and started again. Only increase. It could never decrease. And tomorrow we'll be going further into the guidelines and the procedure because there's a scary proposition from the House looking into the fact that they could determine this within a year. So we will see that one of the things about Liberia Constitution that people say there should be a reform because you need some amendment. There are some laws that are vague that could come back to bite you, especially constitutional law. And I guess that's one of the reasons people are afraid of Konati Kofa because he's a seasoned lawyer. He understands the legal aspect of it. And with this kind of a plot to remove him, there will be a payback. Somebody will have to bite by. And you could see that happening. So tomorrow we will expand on that, the constitutional aspect, the guidelines and procedure, whether it's cognitive, whether it's physical. We will see what happens tomorrow again. Another day, guys. Thanks for the time.
Like Brazilian monk get across here. Somebody said they would like to talk to Brazilian monk. You want to talk to Brazilian monk, can be in a meeting. Be ready to pay to spend some money to support SKTV. Then you will talk to Brazilian monk. You know, SKTV get all these, intelligent.
You facing things on
government everywhere, all over the place. So yeah, you want to talk to them, you just be part of the process. Maybe that will be an opportunity for you to maybe now when you talk to them, maybe see them on the live, see Mon face on the Zoom call. But yeah, you are more than welcome to be a part of the process. I know I'm just teasing you. Don't worry. No worry, I'm just teasing you. But you see, this girl called Deconti, she's a troublemaker. She say that pay to play. But I say, but I want to see Monk face. That one can to do SKTV. I'm the one saying it. Don't bring your trouble to SKTV here. And besides that, Steve, the Deconti actually register the decision or name to you to be part of the process.
Oh, but Deconti the reliable big Deconti that family, so she got to make sure she only on the list.
You can ask you
there everything's paying capital letters.
Ask you. How come I ask your name?
It there. Maybe you jump away, but it there. It there. Deconti made it bigly. What? I'm not talking about Helena now. I'm talking about Deconti. Deconti made it bigly.
Okay. Then no problem.
No. Anybody want for me to add your name or your number? Please be on record. Send me your name and your number.
Anita, say you should go.
Anita, please send me your name.
Anita, send a message to Steve, please.
Send it to Moses on Facebook.
So Elena, you just want to see Brazilian monk face. The man face is there. Go to Facebook. Just put Brazilian monk. You will see him.
Yeah, but Brazilian monk.
For them one more video, you wanna SKTV. Mama, you need to show your face, man.
Yeah, I think going forward now, when we're discussing serious issue on the show, myself will have to have my feet and talk.
Yeah, because more try to put people in a situation they can't handle.
Yeah, more
in the situation you can't handle as well.
Not making it.
Yeah, man. So Steve, I'll see you later.
Yeah,
I'm going to complete my Nigeria and Cameroon game. I think it's 1-0 now.
My man, but more people show your face.
Man, I don't know why the people keep talking about face, man.
but more other thing was saying you're not hearing it.
No. I just got back. I get from the back.
Now the request that you should show your face, and somebody want to talk to you in person.
Man, I'm in the hospital anyway. I don't know where the whole face thing is.
No, not today though. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah,
today.
I will come on the show, but I've been coming to the show. You know why you do
and now that too, man. You know the Zoom conference we're gonna have.
Yeah,
you're gonna be there. So I told the person say they want to see your face, they want to talk to you. Let it be there. So
yeah. I will be on the Zoom. I will try to find a way. Even if it's a separate room, I will go in that day. We will do it. I will do a video conference. I will be on live.
Yeah. So that is there.
All right, man. You guys take care.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, Steve, and thank you, everybody. Man,
we'll talk behind closed door.
Yeah, and you coming?
You already know. We're on it.
Yeah, I know what's up.
Yeah. Folks, you're not man support, you're good now. You're taking so bad for your support, you're bye. I gotta run.